and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm John, the executive producer here, and I've got a few pre-show notes for you. First, a reminder. All of the content we produce is available on our website at finalshowfilms.com, as well as youtube.com/senstaku, senstaku.podbean.com, twitch.tv/senstaku, and on iTunes. We are only able to do the things we do thanks to the kind support of our Patreon donors. We give a special shout out to our $25 tier supporters, Antitonic and Waterflame. If you'd like to support us that way, be sure to check it out. Secondly, a thank you to the folks over at 411mania.com. They produce articles and content related to wrestling, MMA, movies, music, and gaming. Go check them out. We appreciate their support as well. And lastly, be sure to subscribe, comment, and rate, if possible, wherever you listen to or watch our content. It helps us know what you like, what you don't like, and helps us make more content. Feedback is always appreciated. With all that being said, sit back, relax, and enjoy.
And hello, everybody! Welcome back to Worldfire.
How are you?
So, I am Austin, or Units, or whatever you want to call me, and I'm your GM. And joining me, as usual, on my left.
Can we call you our fearless leader?
I mean, I suppose if you feel like it.
I didn't know that was your name.
What?
I didn't know that was your name.
Yes, exactly.
I'm Holly. I'm playing Tarell. She shifts into a wolf and has a son.
You mean a
fox, right?
It's a smaller mutt.
I meant fox. And has a son, and she hurts things.
All right, and on my right.
That would be me, I suppose.
Typically speaking.
Okay, I'm Stan, and this is I'm playing Duncan. He's the half-orc fighter.
All right, and on my left or left?
Slightly. Hi, I'm William, and I'm playing Clanless Faust, Dragonborn Warlock.
And on my far right.
Oh, that would be me, wouldn't it? Anyway, I'm
Pay
John.
attention, folks.
I'm John. I'm playing Galadir Alunai, the Elven Wizard.
And wearing a relatively sane hat today.
Hey, like,
'Tis the
Santa
season.
hats are awesome. And out of the hats that most people are normally expected to wear at some point in their life, Santa hats are, like, one of the raddest.
It's not my favorite of your Santa hats, though.
You'll see it eventually. Next week, I promise, I'll have something crazy. So, I'm Zach, and I'm playing Yitarasu, the Goliath Paladin, Oath of the Ancients.
By the way, our advice for the day, I think, is particularly pertinent to Austin. Don't tear the fabric of reality.
But, my advice was to focus your attacks on the bunnies.
Was that one of mine?
No.
Oh.
Advice source.
Well,
It was
that one's too late. Don't tear the fabric of reality was from Hand of Fate. Yeah.
All right. So, when we left our intrepid adventurers last,
I was dead, almost, sort of.
Almost, it happens. They were on their way to Shapir to figure out where this staff of Worldfire was being constructed and seeing if they could beat people to it. And for some reason, people are blue. Why are you blue today?
Which side is
I ate
blue?
one too many Smurfs.
Over here.
Did the computer get restarted?
No?
It's doing the thing it does to you.
Hang on.
You're blue, Abu Dai.
I don't feel blue.
They're not
Blue's
super
fine.
blue, but they're definitely bluer than
Maybe it's just
normal.
cold down here.
Anyway, while
It is
John
cold.
comes,
And I am cold.
while John comes and does his tech thing
And I don't
behind
think
me
William's that cold.
and disrupts this illusion of this wonderfully placed green screen.
Just,
He's
The green
running a
screen that
cloak
isn't
of
actually
reality.
the green screen that isn't actually chroma keying out.
That looked really
Look,
creepy
look.
because I turned around.
That was a tear in reality. What
There was your
just tell
tear in
you
reality.
not to do?
No, they're not. They're not. Oh, that's why. Because white balance is set to auto.
Why are we... Camera, stop trying to balance your own whiteness.
There we go. Please don't ruin the eyes of my voice.
Anyway, they were on their way to Shapir to discover who was making this staff to try to beat the channel of Kretzm Hall there. And they were assaulted by an ice devil and an assortment of imps, which they handily destroyed.
Except one.
Except one that is currently a bunny.
And down to about one hit point.
And I'm holding it.
So, back to there.
Actually, it's on my head.
I believe that someone had laid their hands on you.
Yeah.
All
We
right.
don't know exactly what happened with that.
So you're standing up.
Oh, okay.
Lay on hands.
How many
is the
hit
thing.
points do you have maximum?
A lot.
You know what? You know what spell
More
I
than you
don't.
can lay on
You know
hands.
what spell I don't have that,
And
that
guess what? I was
wizards
taken down to
typically
that.
have?
I was taken
Find
to
familiar.
0, but I mean... Oh, there.
Did you want to find a familiar?
Well, no, I could make the imp
55
my
off of
familiar
that
and know
right
everything it
now.
knows.
Okay, 55 is good.
But I don't have that spell, so never mind.
Also, I don't think... No, imps can be your
Imps can
familiar.
be familiars.
Yeah.
I don't think it can
Imps
be
are
an
a classic familiar.
unwilling.
They only get a choice in the matter. Wizards are kind of dicks like that.
I mean, yes. Anyway, so what are you guys doing?
Are the imps all dead?
Everything
the
but the
one.
bunny.
Except that one.
Right.
I'm
I have a
gonna-
bunny.
Who
I'm
is-
gonna head over.
Did you want it dealt with?
We wanted to interrogate one, right?
Yes, we want to ask it questions.
I'm curious as to what an imp might know.
Well, for one, who sent it to the city and why, or at least what their
I will give you one guess, and his name is a sentence.
Be that as it may, it's still good to get assertion rather than assumption.
He wants to do something before we beat up the next thing.
His name is a sentence?
Am I wrong? The channel of Kretz Mahal.
Roll me religion? With
Isn't that a sentence
no, just roll
fragment?
religion.
That would be a sentence fragment.
Meanwhile,
Yep.
It's a noun with a prepositional phrase.
That's fair. It's missing a verb to be a sentence. You're right.
The bunny is currently... at first it was struggling to fight you. Now it's just very angrily looking at you as you
You will
pet this
accept
thing.
my love and deal with it.
20 total.
So, Kretz Mahal is a demon. These are devils.
Yeah, but the channel does what he wants. He can summon fiends.
we'll see.
Either that, or the devils are deciding they're gonna try and mess with Kretz Mahal's plans. Which, either way.
Yeah, it could be a variety of things, but traditionally speaking, if it was him, he probably would have sent demons after you.
So,
Fine.
et fiat unum lingua. I cast comprehend languages on myself.
All right.
If you would be so kind as to drop the polymorph.
Puts it down.
Well, you probably shouldn't put it down so it doesn't run away.
Oh, right. I just confused
Actually,
it further.
my
we should get
Goliath
Gretel
friend, would
foot.
you be so kind as to hold it?
Seeing as I have an 18 strength and all the various abilities to take this thing down. Yeah.
You give it a hug.
A word of warning, it will no longer be a bunny. Drop polymorph.
All right. Suddenly, it's a lot less fluffy.
Aw.
And a lot angrier looking.
It has a... It looks like a weird amalgam of a bat with a scorpion tail and a reptilian cat face.
Fun.
So I just sort of like crouch down in front of it, and in common, because so, would you mind telling us what you're doing here?
It glares at you.
Well, I mean, that's one way to do it.
I mean, you always have to ask politely first.
Yes. Well,
Should we heal it back so we can pound on it? I say.
that would be lovely if you could, actually. While he does that, Privata Domi. Oh, no, that takes too long. Never mind.
Trying to remember how much my healing spells I'll heal for.
Let me put it in terms that you will understand, little devil.
It's like D8 per caster level plus.
You don't
five.
necessarily have to speak with me. I understand
No,
that
It's a D8 plus your casting modifier.
Okay.
In this.
a D8 per level. Plus
Per
your casting.
level
Yeah,
you
caster
cast
level
that.
plus caster.
What language did these things speak?
Typically, they
yet.
speak their own language.
Infernal.
Yes, that would be the one.
Yeah.
But most things that make pacts with those of us on the more mortal realms tend to speak the language as well.
Most things speak common.
Yeah.
Hence why it's
That's
called
why it's called
common.
You don't have to answer me, of course, but I am the polite one of the group. If you don't want to answer my questions and be sent upon your way to do whatever your master wants you to do later on.
But you will be a bunny for the rest of your life.
As a bunny, of course. I will allow my slightly more, what's the word? Temperamental friend, I say, indicating Faust, who likes to keep things on, well, tenuous leases of life. I believe would be the correct term. One where you don't die and return to whatever realm you're from. One where you spend the rest of your days simply an inch away from death, wishing for it, craving it, perhaps even pleading for it, but not quite able to grasp it. I simply want a question
I'm
answered.
surprised how well you've learned my nature in so little time.
Roll me an intimidate check.
Do I have advantage?
No.
Okay.
I
don't-
get advantage.
You don't hide it well.
I mean, it's a natural 20, which makes it a 19 because I have a minus 1.
He's a wimp.
The imp is not comfortable, clearly, but it's not saying anything.
While he's holding it, I'm just going to reach over and I'm just going to grab his tail and hang on to it
Okay.
very tightly.
Well then,
I'm
if
just
you
gonna get a
don't
grip
wish
on his
to
tail.
answer the
Like-
questions, that's fine. Faust, I'm certain you will have some fun with this. The rest of us can go on our way. I
need to
simply
step forward.
step away
Do
while
I need
Faust
to make
steps
this
forward.
thing not die?
No, you just need to hold it very still.
As I just hang on, let me.
I
run
am
through.
neutral.
And I am specifically in an oath that doesn't like fiends.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
we shouldn't torture a tear. Oh, this isn't a person. This is a devil.
This
You
is
know what?
This is an abomination against nature. I have no problem with this.
Taro will like push Kai the other direction. Go play.
Come, children, I will show you magic tricks. And I take
Go follow.
Go play with that thing
Throw
you
it.
just killed.
Cantrip, cantrip, cantrip.
prestidigitation, prestidigitation.
I serve one who has mastery over death, little imp. I am quite adept at pulling you back from the edge. I can take as long as I like, chain you down, keep you where I like. Perhaps even you can live without several limbs, correct?
Take his wings off. I say.
Do your worst.
Now we gets worse. Oh, but it's not pain that'll drive a devil, I'm well aware. It's fear. Fear of what your masters will do to you once they find out you've failed in your mission. And I believe that your mission was to stop us or die. And if you don't die, they'll simply have to find you to exact their proper punishment. And I can certainly lead them along on a merry chase, just to irritate them until their true punishment when they find you is just what it should be.
And on a 17 religion check, is there anything I can add on to that? Does that seem pretty much mostly sound, or?
Yeah, demons do what they want out of a, carnal desire to destroy, rip, shred, tear, all that sort of stuff. Devils are almost entirely motivated either by fear of those with power or desire to have power over those they can intimidate.
Okay. I'll let him continue.
You want me to roll an intimidation check
Yes, please.
with advantage because I'm outfit?
Yes, because you have a...
So the 15 will be.
Shall we say, intimidation rich.
That'll be a 24.
So you know what my dice think of you, William? Today they've decided the other way.
It would be good if we were playing second edition.
Yeah. So you feel liquid dripping down you.
Prestidigitation.
It's kind of acidic. It burns a little bit.
Nice and warm.
So, are you ready to answer questions?
I don't know anything.
Who sent you?
I don't know anything.
Who
I am escort.
summoned
I am escort.
you?
Whose escort?
I follow the dead one. That
He points at the
Pile of ice.
devil
Ice
you've
devil.
slain. It actually, despite controlling ice, it's not made entirely of ice. It's more of a weird
It's a bug. It's
Bug-like.
like a bug devil.
thing. There is a pool of water around that. It's slowly seeping out of it.
Yeah, it looks like a humanoid beetle. It has like mandibles and shit.
Yeah.
I repeat, who summoned you?
was not summoned.
How did you get here?
I was sent with that one,
By whom?
master.
I tighten the grip a little more.
Whom? What is their name?
Roll me an intimidate check.
As acid kind
Can
of
I
drips
roll
off
one
of my
too?
teeth.
Let's see what happens in a second.
That makes 27.
Okay. It starts to say something, and then Zachary, roll
boy.
me a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity.
That's not the saving throw I like. That's not the saving throw I like at all.
Dexterity.
Nope.
Not
4.
that one.
It explodes.
So the creature you were holding has now turned into an acidic pile of melted imp. Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
With a
Okay, that one I can
with
do.
a 22 passive perception, do I notice this from where I'm over at?
Yeah, you notice.
Yeah,
You notice something went way wrong.
Bad roll. That was an 11, but yeah.
that's fascinating.
You take
Goro, would you play with Kai for a moment? And I'm gonna go back over there.
15 acid damage.
I just want to investigate the pile
That
of.
doesn't help us at all.
So,
Actually, it helps quite a bit.
do these things normally get scared literally to death?
No, that means their master is watching very closely.
Really?
I cast detect magic. I just want to see if there's a scrying eye or anything watching us.
So you cast detect magic.
Hang on.
Uh,
Magicae manifeste fiant.
You immediately, obviously, everyone in the party has magic stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking for like arcane
You-
eyes or anything scrying.
All right. So the only magic you're sensing in the area is there is something in the carapace of that ice devil.
I go over to the ice devil. Maintaining the detect magic. I just want to like sort of localize where it's at.
There is something in its chest. It's flipped on its face, so you can't see it.
Duncan, would you
Yeah.
mind giving me some assistance, please?
Oh, okay.
I'll help.
I'll
as
go
best.
over there.
Would you please flip this over onto its back?
Sure.
You flip it over. With the ice having melted, because you know where it is now, you can see that there is a small, an emerald shoved up in this thing's where in a human there'd be a sternum.
So I pull out my dagger and basically like surgical
We're on
incision,
an ice devil has a thorax.
just sort of slice in and
It
try to
has
remove
a
it.
weird amalgam of carapace, but there is this vague shape of where the chest connects to a stomach, where there's like a gap in the armor for movement, for bending, and there's something shoved up in that gap. Were you able to pull it out?
It's magical, clearly?
It's clearly magical.
Identify.
Knowledge religion? Help in any way?
I mean, he's about to
You
find
can
out what
roll
magic
me knowledge
properties
religion.
Just wanting to know if this is anything normally done, basically.
Monstro quod ipsitiv
You'll never
adnos.
find out.
So this is
You're fired, Die.
odd. It does not respond like you would expect. This does not respond in the way something has clearly been shielded, at least some degree. It's definitely has some sort of divination magic, but it also has an amount of conjuration. At least it's attuned to conjuration. You don't detect any. Roll me Arcana.
14 plus 9.
Okay, so this item is itself a divination item, but it has an attunement to conjuration. What you can discern is that this thing is while its magic is divination, it's designed to operate with or divine a specific item that is conjuring magic.
So it was being used to find a specific thing.
It would be used to find a specific item, yes.
Can I tell what it would be used to find, or do I need to attune to it?
You can't attune to it.
Okay.
This is not something that attunes to a person. It's attuned to an item and it's
Okay.
already attuned. You don't recognize this conjuration that it's in is on a scale that you've never seen. Not even in, like, you're not a conjurer.
Yeah.
But this is not something that you are accustomed to seeing at all.
Well, whoever their master was provided them with an interesting piece of
I see
magic.
that.
And I'll just sort of hold it out between the two of us.
Put my hand on it. I recognize this conjuration magic that it's attuned to.
You do, sort of. It's roll me Arcana.
It's looking for the rod or the crystal. Arcana makes that 21.
It is linked to it is linked in a way to the staff. That definitely seems to be what it's attuned to, but you're not entirely sure. It is devilish magic. Is distinctly not demonic.
Yeah.
And the staff is distinctly demonic. So
They're hunting it. They know it's here.
Is this at a level that I could dispel it? Like just can I tell how powerful the spell is? Like if it's just sort of low level divination or what?
it's pretty powerful because it's meant to sense from a distance.
Yeah.
It's meant to lead you. You might be able to dispel it if you tried.
Okay. I will cast Dispel Magic on it. Which I'm assuming is going to require a spellcasting roll from me.
Yes.
Which is...
We might have been able to use that to find the rod, but...
Yes, but I'm assuming that whoever created this is also using it. Currently inactive.
Yes.
There's divination in addition to conjuration.
Well, it's divination to find the conjuration.
28. I dispel level 18th magic spells.
You attempt to dispel it. It resists.
And it is resisting my attempts to dispel it as well.
Then you may end up using it. But to answer your question, no. Devils do not spontaneously melt. Their master was keeping an eye on them, and when it was about to speak its name, it banished it.
Well, if I cannot dispel it...
Likely, that would mean being able to observe through this crystal, so...
Or...
Simply possessing this crystal may be remarkably dangerous.
Or it might be observing through the creatures it brought forth. Either way, this task is apparently very important to whoever these devils' master is.
If we cannot dispel it, I'll hold it out and whip the cloak of my robe over it to put it in a pocket dimension. At the very least, we can blind it.
Yes.
Well, If we're all gathered, then
I smell the hints of a war between devils and demons.
I cast prestidigitation to clean you up.
Appreciated.
You're quite welcome. Well then,
Creatures like that always have an excuse for war.
shall we continue? Or do we require a short rest?
Yeah, I'm still
How
down
long
about.
was it since we
I'm fine to continue.
I'm still down
had
39
that
points.
rest? Because it wasn't that long ago. We should.
No, it's about midday.
Yeah, so a brief breather just to recover if anyone needs it. Otherwise, we can continue on.
Take a short rest.
Taking a short rest lets you spend hit points to heal, or spend hit dice to heal if you want to. So if you want to like try to get a little bit further back, and with Holly, you
Oh,
get
yeah,
extra
she's
healing
got heal.
anyways.
Yes.
Because Song of
Okay.
Rest.
Yeah, it's
okay,
like a
short
15-minute rest.
Yes. We'll take a short breather.
Okay.
So you
Right.
can spend hit dice to regain hit points, and everybody automatically, if you spend any hit dice at all, you get a D8.
And
In
I'm
addition.
going to spend 3 points of my arcane recovery to recover the 3rd level spell. I'm going to spend all 6 actually to recover the 2 3rd level spells I've cast.
With my Song of Rest, you get.
I'm uninjured, and I automatically get back the spell that I cast because I'm a warlock.
Nice. I'm back full.
All right.
Okay.
Very well. Let us continue on then.
Okay.
The rest of your trip is uneventful, and after a while of traveling, you start to see the roads become much more obvious. What you were following down was, it had been worn down because horses had clearly traveled it repeatedly, but you reach a point where the roads become definitively dug out roads. They've been pressed down, and they're well maintained. There's lots of tracks in them from things going through, and you can see several forks. So this is clearly a very well traveled area, and there's a lot of carts that go through here. You can tell by the wheel tracks. As you continue for a little bit, you start to see a lot of farmland. And as you go on even further, you see what looks less like a city and more like a hodgepodge of tents, buildings, and abodes. There's no style tying them together. There are large huts large round huts that appear to be made out of the earth itself. There are wood structures. There are giant tents. They're all around a large plaza in which there are carts. There are merchants selling everything you can think of. It's a massive bazaar that happens to have dwelling places and buildings set up around it. You also start seeing a lot more travelers, people coming in, riding wagons and that sort of stuff, and a lot of merchants with their wares. Also, up to now you've seen, mostly everybody you've seen and heard is Imperial or, adjacent to Imperials. There are people here who are Imperial, they have the distinctive look, but there's a lot of people here who you've seen the native hair and skin tonation, but who are wearing the native clothes. And the outfits are garishly bright. There are a lot of purples, reds, yellows, blues, and a lot of them are just openly have weapons on them, and shields, and armor.
Adventure Town.
Adventure. What's the name of this town again?
Shapier.
Shapier?
You also begin hearing the native tongue, because there's a lot of people speaking a language you don't know. You would speak the native tongue
Yay.
because you're a native. It's not obviously your primary language would be Elvish.
Yeah.
But you would know the native tongue and the imperial tongue by virtue of being, being necessary to communicate.
Yeah. Welcome to Shapier. What sort of town is this? Is it just like a
This
adventure
is
town?
a massive... This entire country, it's just south of the imperial settlement and just north of the natives. And it's about as close as either of them wants to get to each other. So it's where all of the trade between the two happens.
This is something of a crossroads town between the societies of our native lands and your imperial brethren.
Not my brethren.
Well, in a large...
Have you ever seen a dragonborn among the Imperials?
I tried to spend very little time among the Imperials myself, so I couldn't say. Regardless.
There's actually more Dragonborn among the Imperials than there are among the natives.
That's fair. But there's still not that many among the Imperials.
No, they're not common.
Regardless. This is where they mingle and ply their trade, and likely also a very good place for those that wish to hide to do so. Do I know where magical items would be being made?
Any number of places. This land does not have much of a central government or a central anything. It's sort of rule of common sense.
Yeah.
If you really get into trouble, there is the High Judge. But for the most part, if you have a dispute with someone, you settle it with them.
What is he high on?
Probably a lot of things. He's rich.
I have some very minor ability to divine myself, but it requires me to direct a force rather than simply finding it. If we can find any sort of locale that might fit, then I can look further. Though I imagine some of you are more skilled at blending in with the populace and asking questions than I.
You will notice that coming into this town,
Yes.
no one's batted an eye at you.
Yeah.
Like, this is the first place where, from the Goliath to the half-orc, they're whatever. They've seen it all.
Yeah. I'm just not good at subtly sneaking around and talking to people. Well then, shall we find accommodations and let us go to our individual tasks?
Sure.
Where's the nearest cheap inn?
There's a lot of cheap inns. The nearest is you find this place and it doesn't even have a roof. Somebody has literally just set up 4 giant, looks like some sort of leather walls.
Something slightly less cheap than that.
Make something
Yeah.
better than that.
It's true.
You do have a tiny hut.
Like, we have money.
You find an imperial establishment that is a proper wooden structure.
With a roof?
Yes.
Most
While,
wooden
while,
structures have
while we
roofs.
can make tiny hut, I'd rather save that spell slot just in case.
No, she was just saying she can make something better,
Make something
than
better.
the first place that she went.
You said cheap.
Not that cheap.
We weren't
We
expecting.
did just melt the emperor. We have money.
We're oh, you guys do. Unless there's any objection.
Yeah.
Lead the way in.
All right. You step inside. Imperial building. Most of the people in here are Imperial or dwarves. There's actually a lot of dwarves in here. In fact, the bartender is a burly, muscly, scarred individual with one of his eyes is all white and his hair is shock white.
So, this person we're looking for, clearly if the Dark Elves had people among their own kind that could do this, they would have done it in their lands. So the person we're looking for is either not a Dark Elf or a Dark Elf who's been separated for a very long time.
You can make that assumption, yes.
So, I need to find someone who would know who would be an enchanter in these regions.
Well, first let us simply acquire rooms. Lead the way to the
You walk up to the innkeeper.
Hey, what can I do for you? Welcome to the Flying Bar Tavern.
I step back and let one of the others do talking. With my 8 charisma.
Faust just kind of stands and looks on.
Hey, I'm just slightly ahead of you. I'm at 9.
lowest.
I'm at 9.
So which one of us are we?
Which one of us does have the higher charisma? I don't know.
What's your charisma?
14.
Oh, 16.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah.
Faust has the highest charisma. He's just not talking right now.
We would like to acquire
Almost
some
like I don't
rooms.
like cities.
Almost like you don't like people.
Yes, alright. How many rooms can I get for you?
How many would we like?
Well, I can protect from intrusion. 2, 3.
How much are the rooms?
Rooms are a silver a night.
Yeah, that's
We can go.
nothing.
It's an extra 5 copper if you want a bath.
I would like one. Yes.
We probably want
Yeah,
all
it's
of
been,
us.
it's been a while.
She looks at Duncan. All of us. Would like
I need to shampoo my
we
my
wanna
clothes
go for,
too.
what, 2 or 3 rooms.
I put down a gold piece, 5 rooms.
And
Well,
baths.
never mind.
I look at solution.
He picks it up,
Bites.
looks at it oddly. Now, of course, is this one of the ones that you had, or this one of the ones from the Melted Down
This is
Emperor?
one of the ones that I had.
Okay, so it's Imperial.
I put a
Yeah,
gold
it's
finger on the table. I'll let you guess which one it was. Here's a hint, not the thumb.
He flicks it with his finger.
It's barely any gold in these things at all, cursed Emperor. Here, he's made of gold. I'd like to melt him down.
I pull out a little chunk of gold and say, "It's already been done."
I smack you upside the head.
I wish. I'll set you up.
Word hasn't
Do you
reached
want your
yet.
baths
I know.
now,
One
or
probably hasn't reached that town yet.
Well, it's not supposed
will you be
to.
sitting down for drinks and meals and coming back later?
But I spent
What
most of my
time of
nights
the
with
day
only a
is
small
it?
piece I got left.
It's the sun is setting.
I
We have a
assume
little
we'll be
bit of
coming.
business to do about town. We'll be
Yeah,
back shortly.
we'll be back later.
All right.
Aye,
I'll
on the other
have your
hand,
bath set when the sun's going all the way down. Ivan, he says, little boy, set the baths. Yes, Grandpa, says an irritated-looking dwarf as he starts up the stairs.
I will go secure the rooms.
Certainly.
All right.
I take it you're about as comfortable in this place as I am.
There are people here.
I agree.
I would like to clarify. There's a smell here.
This-
There's a smell in this entire.
There won't be a smell in the rooms when I'm done. Private sanctum, excluding that smell. So yeah, I go up and
You pull out some like elven potpourri +1.
yeah, I spend 10 minutes.
Potpourri +1, press that agitation to get rid of the lingering smell, and then let the potpourri spread.
I spend 10 minutes casting Mordenkainen's Private Sanctum in such a way that it covers all of the rooms, but just on the inside of the doors and windows, so that from the outside it looks fine. But if someone not allowed opens the door, they just see Dark Souls fog. Like, I don't want to go in there.
It's a fog of war.
It's a fog of door.
Anyway, what are the rest of you doing?
I'm assuming you allow the kid who's supposed to run the baths.
I think the baths are in a separate room. So
There's a bathroom.
Okay, there is a bathroom.
So- no, I
there's
don't.
two. There's a men's bathroom and a women's bathroom.
I allow the people of the party and the ward and child, and no one else.
And the baths are basically giant stone
and
tubs with a fire.
And
in
I will
them.
let you both know, your
comfy.
warden child will be safe in your rooms once the spell is finished.
Good.
All right.
Gore, you are free to roam, and of course you know how to handle anyone who would accost you.
Right. Kai, go stick close to Gora, please.
All right.
She still has that +1 dagger.
Yes. So does Kai. Well, it's not +1, but it's +1.
It's a dagger.
It is a dagger.
Work with him on how
All
to
right.
use it.
And I'm in the end, so if they need help, I can...
Yeah.
Hold person, middle person.
All right. So what are you guys doing?
I'm going to see if I can find an enchanter. Or anyone magically inclined.
All right. What are you doing, Holly?
I mean, I was gonna do the same thing, but she was going to suggest that we all split up. and
Yeah, it's
try
likely a good
different
idea.
routes to find an enchanter.
All right.
I
Let's split the
suppose.
party. Zachary, what are you doing?
Oh, how I split them. I mean, it makes sense.
I mean,
What's
yeah,
the worst that could happen?
yeah.
Do we all want to go out individually, or do we want to do
We
two
should go in
separate
pairs
groups?
at least.
Okay.
Probably go in
Those-
pairs.
There's too much city for one group
Yeah.
to cover in a reasonable amount of time.
All right.
City is a generous word.
It's a large village.
It's not even a village. It's the largest merchant's trading post you've ever seen in your life.
All right.
It's the Mall of Georgia.
Why are you whispering sweet nothings into my husband's ear?
I was just staring at him.
Okay.
So what do you
Burying
do?
holes in reality is exactly what we're not
right.
supposed to do.
Well,
so.
if it's a small enough place, let's just wander around together in case anything jumps out of the bushes again.
It's not small.
Back alley.
No, it's
It's
the
massive.
smell?
It's the Mall of
massive.
Georgia.
No,
It
it's
is
not.
massive.
It's not even the Mall of Georgia. It's like it's the size of a city. There's just the way that the buildings are set up. There's not
spread out.
alleys because the buildings aren't put in rows or in order.
It's not a city, it's a hamlet.
Who would like to
Okay.
go with whom?
I'll
Sure.
keep him in control.
It's Royal Hamlet.
He's going to keep me in control. He thinks I'm going to do something stupid.
All right.
So you guys are looking for an enchanter. What are you guys looking for?
After I finish setting up the room, I cast Arcane Eye and I have it follow them.
Well, we just have to eavesdrop on people and see if they... well, I don't know. How are we going to get information on stuff?
How are we
Basically,
going to get information on stuff? I think what we do...
Intimidate?
Is we utilize the
Mostly
fact...
because-
No.
I can see things they can't through the eye, and so I can make rolls that they might not be able to make without them knowing.
We utilize the fact that we're the two highest Constitution characters in the party,
Right.
and,
Go drinking.
I mean, hey, that's information.
That'll work, yeah.
Once
We'll
I
do
see them
that.
Go into a bar, I go follow them.
That makes sense. Yeah, just see if anybody has...
So you
Right,
guys
local stories.
Any-
Yeah.
See if there's any stories of night elves
roll
running
me investigation, but use charisma instead of
Whatever.
intelligence.
Charismatic investigation. Good. So a charisma check for me.
Yes, and you guys
Yeah.
Do I add my investigation and charisma?
roll me
Perception? Haha.
Constitution saving throws.
No.
No, so just add your charisma.
Oh, okay.
around. That I can do.
Yeah, none of these things can I do.
And half your proficiency to check all traits, so +2.
My investigation is with
fabulous.
intelligence, not
So
charisma.
that is-
You keep doing that.
Oh, we had the same thing.
Oh, awesome.
So yeah, I'm once they go into a bar, I end
Yeah.
up following them. So I'm just keeping an eye out, both what they're doing and also see if I see anything interesting.
All right. So what'd you guys get for your?
I got a 15.
15.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
You hold your drinks well. You don't. You're not the best drinkers in the bar, but you hold them well. Both of you roll me a d20. Try to get under your charisma, please.
Under charisma?
Under my charisma? I can do that.
I wonder
I've
how
been
far...
rolling terribly all day, so I'm going to roll a 20. I rolled 7, though, so I'm pretty
yay.
good. Awesome.
Nope.
Okay.
13.
So
Hard to roll under an 8.
you're drinking. You're actually talking to people. What are you trying? How are you steering this conversation?
I want to... Obviously, it's hard to get any particular stories because there's a bunch of whole weird people coming into town constantly. But, like, stories of any strange individuals.
I will clarify. You haven't seen a single dark elf.
I haven't.
It seems like they're not a race that is typical here. Also, Duncan is the only half orc. There aren't any orcs.
Sorry, the HQ prize for tonight is $10,000.
Wait, the what prize?
We might have to pause the game in 2 hours. HQ is a trivia. It's a trivia game that you can win money if you answer all the questions right. And tonight's grand prize is $10,000.
Sweet.
How do I get in on this?
Yes. I guess any strange.
Magical types, or
I'm thinking between like strange magical goings on. I guess some kinds of either particular individuals that just.
Well, you figure that out. What'd you guys get in your
We
investigation?
both had 21.
All right. There are a wide variety of enchanters, but you're easily able to wean out. There's a lot of bad ones. There's a lot, and it depends on what kind of enchanter you're looking for. You notice almost immediately that the different races have different kinds of enchanters. The high elves, their enchantment seems to be kind of an all-in-one. They don't enchant existing items, they create them as they enchant them, as do the dwarves. The humans take items that other people have made and put enchantments on them.
Okay.
Their
What's happening with the staff?
halflings almost never seem to enchant anything.
or just see if there's anybody.
And the wood elves,
somebody.
most
that
of
would do
their
stuff like
enchanted
that.
items are things that are still alive. Like they will grow a bow out of a tree or that sort of thing.
Peculiar
So we're looking for either a dwarf or a high elf, basically.
yeah.
You're
Because it was
Roll
mentioned that the staff was
me-
being made.
Arcana about the staff.
Okay.
As I'm experiencing this thing, can I roll an Arcana as well? With my invisible eye in the sky.
No, because they're recalling information.
20.
23.
So the staff, you in particular, William, Faust would know, the staff is an amalgam of parts that would have to be assembled together and separately enchanted.
So multiple
So
enchantments.
it would probably be human work, because it's not something that was made as a single piece as it was enchanted. It was, they took powerful things that already had magic on them, assembled them together and did it, which is the more human or gnomish ways to do things. So you're looking for either a human or a gnome. But most gnomes refuse on principle to deal with anything to do with demons.
So I'm
So you're either looking for a human or a very deranged gnome.
Yeah. Which, considering the dark elves, that's not an unpossibility.
Yes.
Impossibility. Blurred English.
But you notice that none of the enchanters who are advertising their skill have anywhere near the talent to do what you're looking for.
Yeah. So I'm
Like
looking
the
for-
most powerful enchanters are the elves and the dwarves, and
So I'm looking for someone
they're
who's
the wrong kind of work.
Who's basically their renown is based off their performance and their product rather than their advertisement.
Yeah, but no one who's open for a front business
Basically.
has the skill set that would be required for this item.
Right.
Out of curiosity, while my eye is flying around after them and looking at the enchanters that they're sort of investigating, can I see any that whose quality of work might belie their skill? Like somebody who just sort of puts on a front as being a very basic enchanter, but actually has pieces that
Roll
they
me insight.
couldn't have made.
Actually, no. You can either roll me insight. There's no appraise skill, right?
I mean, if you're appraising magic, it might be Arcana.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arcana would be the
Roll me either
appraisal.
insight or arcana.
Arcana.
Again, if you want one, two dice.
25.
No. Most of them are. There's lots of people who are claiming they can do a whole lot more
Than they actually can.
but there's nobody who's hiding what they can do.
Is there anybody that looks like they're selling things that doesn't look like they could have made? Like a human selling something that's very obviously made by a elf.
Yes,
or
there
dwarf
are
or
a couple.
things. But they're claiming to make them.
Yes.
Okay.
There's one particular enchanter who has what is very obviously this dwarven forged mallet that has like this really elaborate carving into the bronze work, and you're like, this is super distinctively dwarven, and there's no way that this guy made it.
So I'm going to note down all of those sellers, just just like while I'm back in the inn, just take out some some information, sort of note down their locations.
You're able to find a listing of the merchants, and you just
Boom, 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 boom.
While I'm wandering around, since I have Detect Magic as a spell that I can cast, I would like to sort of keep my eyes open for any... Because enchanting has magical work, so it sort of... A lot of enchanting tools and the process of enchanting generates a certain aura.
yeah.
So I'm trying to see if there's anyone who's not advertising an enchanting business who has those signs in their buildings.
Okay, that'll take you. It takes you pretty much the rest of the night, and you don't find any.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask.
You do, however, see if you ever look up. You do, however, see a little a little ball of magic following you around.
I'm going to ask about any particularly really powerful, craftsmen in general, possibly magical ones, however. But ones that, the ones that you don't normally find, who are the really good, the people who make really good stuff that you won't find just going through the normal market stalls.
Oh, so you're looking for some really good stuff, and you roll me. Roll me a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
Yeah.
That is something I can do. Especially when I roll a 19 and get a 25.
All right.
Well, you're looking to go under the radar a little bit, right? Find stuff you can't get on the open market.
Exactly.
Where you can find some of the best stuff.
Well, there's a guy name of Fenris, but I didn't tell you that. Okay?
Gotcha.
Of course you did, Tommy.
Now, Fenris doesn't like the daylight. He prefers to only come out at night, and he doesn't really go out. But, where the really loud and obnoxious blacksmith is?
I know where that blacksmith is. I probably walked past him a few times.
The one that claims that he's discovered the secret to that dwarven iron stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I noted him down.
I think he's impossible to miss.
Well, go to his building. Go to the back way out. Walk way back till you get to near a tent. There's a tree stump by there. Sit on the tree stump. Do you happen to know any gnomish?
No.
Yeah.
All right, you're gonna have to work in the station a little bit. Ek Leo Garjin.
Gin?
I'm writing all this stuff down, alright?
Why are you so amused?
Because I have a memory for Pathfinder.
Yes.
So that's how I find this Fenris guy?
Garjin. Yeah. That's why it's amusing to me.
Yeah, we could go check them out.
No, I know what period it is. I'm just like...
No, I mean,
All right.
We'll talk later.
So,
I remember.
do you, all right, so anything else you just want to find out? Are you destroying my slinky?
I'm trying to undestroy it.
It's
So
destroyed.
basically, you destroy
It's
it.
destroyed. They're
It
very.
wasn't destroyed earlier when we
It's-
were playing with it.
Trying to untangle it.
It's very
Yes,
difficult. They're
but
very
it wasn't
difficult.
that
Once
way
they're
earlier.
tangled, they're tangled.
Anyway,
I'm good at untangling slinkies.
You
I
owe
think
us.
that's actually
You get a 20% chance to get it back.
Just stuck on this one room.
So,
Anyway,
So, guy who does things in the night has random rituals that you have to go through to find him. Sounds like the right kind of guy to be looking for this. So, I think that's a pretty good lead here.
all right. So
He says to the guy who just told him nothing.
what? So what else do you do?
um,
Anything else? Or are you guys all going to meet up back at the inn?
well, I guess we should go look for them and see. Yeah.
Everybody,
Let-
roll me perception checks.
Oh, dang it, I can't. Where does the blanket end? Sorry.
24.
Oh, bad.
Perception is
natural
one of
one.
my skills.
14.
Wait,
16.
Okay, you guys are traveling the bars. What'd you get, Holly?
7.
So the two of you don't notice this. You, thankfully, are in the same area as they do. You notice off in the distance, somebody has picked up a small boy with red hair by the arm and is threatening to rough him up, and a half-orc girl just stabbed him in the arm with a knife.
Can I tell how close they are to the inn?
I gave you a dagger and I trained you on how to use it. You better use it.
Can I tell how close they are to the inn?
Him yet.
They're a distance from the inn. They're on the outskirts towards where they are.
I'm going to have the arcane eye swirl around in his face, hoping he still has detect magic on.
Detect magic on.
You do.
So.
Okay,
Just
you notice that this magic is swirling in front of your face.
I follow it. It's trying to lead me somewhere.
and then I start making my way that way as well.
You look over
I
just
cast-
in time
okay.
to see a massive. It's a weird dog-like creature. It looks like a hyena person, but it's almost 9 feet tall. Backhand Gora to the ground.
Oh, you made a mistake.
Once I know they've
Flesh
seen
is
it.
done.
What?
Once I know they've seen it, dropping arcane eye, casting fly on myself, and
You're
going.
there.
What do I see?
You see the same thing, and in the other hand, it is flailing your son around.
Oh no!
Don't worry, he's turning into a statue real quick.
No.
Yeah, but he's holding your son.
Initiative?
He's about to turn into a bunny and a statue. He's
Oh
going to be a statue.
no!
of
No, he does not get the bunny privilege.
He does not get bunny privilege.
That's a privilege and an honor, sir.
21.
Wonderful.
20.
27.
Don't fuck with the wrong mom now.
So we're just walking around in the bars when suddenly we just hear the sound of a boiling tea kettle, followed by an explosion.
I'm sorry, William and John, what'd you guys get?
20.
21.
I'm flying as fast as I can.
All right, Holly. Do you want any other details, or are you good?
How far away are they?
About 100 feet.
Okay.
And this
What
thing's not alone.
I don't care.
It's not,
Why would I care?
Not alone.
How?
More people to
what
send
is
the
my
message
move-
to.
Exactly.
What's my move speed once I transform?
Once you transform,
I don't- I
40
didn't-
feet, I believe.
Okay.
I
Alright,
thought she was the one that got claws, not the one that got movement speed.
Her transformation's slightly different.
Okay.
I transform, and I am running at full force towards them.
Okay.
Growling, baring teeth, all that.
So 80-foot dash.
All right.
And screaming some very
Well, I mean,
colorful
Fox.
profanities.
you're currently a hybrid. So she turns. So you haven't seen her do this fully. You've only seen her do the partial transformation. She transforms fully into a hybrid fox humanoid creature and drops to all fours and begins sprinting.
Well, the gnoll, I'm assuming, I don't actually know what the creature is.
It's a gnoll, yes.
Yeah, he needs to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
What's the
No.
range on Flesh to
He
Stone?
turns to stone.
What's the range on Flesh to Stone?
I believe it's like 60 feet, and if we're 80 feet out, I just walk forward
That
and turn to
doesn't
stone.
get my son, does it?
No,
Okay.
just the creature.
All right. Yeah. Suddenly, the thing that was flailing your child around turns into a stone statue.
Still holding your child, but it's now stone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can shadow the hand later.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
He's
And the
fine.
rest of it.
John, you're flying over there, but
I dash, so I dash 100 feet because I have a fly speed of 50.
okay, it'll be a bit.
Yeah, that's fine.
By this point, all the bystanders have backed the heck off. All right, so there's about half a dozen of these gnolls. They see you. One of them immediately pulls out.
Oh, sorry, I have a flying speed of 60 feet. I go 120 feet around.
Pulls out a club with spikes in it, for lack of a better word, and holds it up next to the child and barks out something that you don't understand. Do you stop moving?
Will tongues allow me to understand that?
If you had it up,
You have to cast it first.
but you'd have to cast it.
He's already spoken.
So, but you understand it? Okay, do you
Just jump it.
But it seems to be indicating back down or your son gets it.
I'll stop.
Okay. The others all sort
Stop in my tracks.
all sort of stay there. They're clearly terrified of what's going on. Back to your turn, since they're not doing anything in the moment.
All right, so the person that is threatening my child suddenly is encased in a cloud of daggers.
Okay. Reflex save, right?
Yes.
Dex saving throw.
Oh,
Nope. He does not make it, so he takes an amount of damage. William. At this point, Gora is just sort of on the ground. There's a not small amount of blood coming out of her face, but she's breathing. She's okay. She was staggered.
Okay. So she's not unconscious yet.
No.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna hold concentration on that guy. The other gnolls are all in a big group, right?
Mm-hmm.
The one in the middle. How tough do these gnolls look?
They look like people you typically wouldn't want to meet in a dark alley. But right now, they don't want to meet you in a dark alley.
13.
13.
Faust is one of the last people you would want to meet in a dark alley.
Is the one holding her son still up?
Yes.
But he's a statue.
No. The one like with his
Oh, the one with the
one
club.
that's threatening
the one threatening.
the child.
What the hell? I got until the end of my next turn to get him out of the way. Negative energy flood.
Okay.
On who?
On the one that's got a club to her son.
Oh, the one threatening.
So another Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Did you save or no?
What's the saving throw?
19, I believe.
He made it.
Okay. Well, he still takes half damage.
Is this the one that turns him into a zombie that attacks
At the
nearest?
end of my next turn.
At the end of your next turn. Okay.
So I got a turn to get him out of the way if he dies. So that's 11, 7, so 18, 12, so 30, 6, 36.
He's
one more.
dead.
Yeah. 41 half damage. So
Yeah, he's made of dead now.
Yeah. Get your son out of the way. I say to you.
You say to me.
All right,
I
and
was currently held by a statue.
John, you continue flying.
Do I get with? Let me know when I get within 120 feet of
Probably
the
next
the
step
units.
anyway.
Okay.
You can dimension door him.
All
I
right.
have to mention
Oh, never mind. I do.
Next
So.
I
round.
don't know.
I can protect them. I just have to get there.
All right. So
I can wall of force around Gora.
the other four are freaking out, and one of them panics and goes at your child like a piñata. So he swings his massive club thing on it and breaks it on your child's face.
Okay.
These things are about to.
Would you
learn
like
the
to go to a
definition of
barbarian
pain.
rage?
Yes, I would.
Are you a barbarian?
It doesn't
Currently, yes.
matter. I'm breaking the rules of the game with my rage.
All right. So, what you gonna do? It's back to your turn.
How far away am I right now?
You're right there. You're 10 feet away.
I'm gonna pounce and grapple him.
All right. What are the stats for a barbarian rage?
Advantage on strength.
You
on
have
all
advantage
strength
on
checks
advantage.
and saving
You
throws.
have advantage on all strength checks. You are you have resistance to all resistance to non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing
All
damage.
right. Roll me.
And you have a plus to your damage. If you were a barbarian, it would be determined by your level. But
Yeah. No. Right now, you're just. Go ahead and give me. Roll an athletics check with advantage.
right now,
Okay.
you just get the advantage. You don't get all the
that's
other
not
things.
Yeah. You just get the adrenaline.
Barbarian rage is actually really, really powerful.
Yeah. It's sort of their thing. It's what they do.
So.
Okay.
Plus your strength.
That's-
and half
Some
your
barbarians, when they rage, call storms to them.
I get plus
Other
one,
barbarians, when they
basically,
rage,
because of
come
my
back to
attack
life if they die.
19.
Okay. You pounce in your form, and
I
you're
also
a,
claw his face.
you're a lot smaller than he is. However, there was
I
a lot
would
of impact,
I'd
and
like to cling to him with my claws.
your claws, not your teeth.
Both?
the above?
Actually.
Okay.
Both.
You find a throat. You find a jugular.
Also, I get a bonus with my claws.
Yes. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you do your claw damage.
I forgot to put that down.
It's a
when I
D4
transferred.
plus your dexterity modifier.
Okay. Dang it. Okay. Seven.
All right. You begin shredding this thing's throat, and you knock it to the ground. Its compatriots look rather confused at the moment. William, what are you doing?
I walk over to Kai, who is either being held by the statue or on the ground next to the statue.
My son.
He was hit with such force, his wrist broke free of the
Okay.
the statue's wrist. The statue's hand broke.
Is he still conscious or is he unconscious?
Roll me a heal check real quick.
Medicine?
Medicine. Which is just my intelligence. Fortunately, I have good intelligence. 19.
He's almost completely unharmed.
Well, let's keep it that way. I dimension door him over to Gora, who's off to the side.
Okay. Gore is just pulling herself up at the moment.
Tend to your wounds and then his, if he has any. This is going to get ugly very quick.
She
You just turned a man to stone, and then another guy got pounced by a half fox.
Oh no,
and
there's
it's
more
about to get up.
There's more to come because that knoll that I just killed gets up as a zombie right now.
Yeah. So it gets up, and it has a 50. Let's give it a 50-50 chance of going after one group or the other.
He goes after whatever's nearest.
Well, I mean, they're both nearest.
Yeah, they're both right next to him. So
He's grappling.
No, the two of them and the rest of the gnolls. So it's going to go after the rest of the gnolls. They have crummy
Gnoll zombie.
AC, but Flint bars hurt a lot.
So that's what happens to evangelicals when they die.
It smashes one of its compatriots in the face. Both of you roll me intimidate checks.
I have advantage. Well, I don't even have to roll again. It's a natural 20.
I'm about to make an ice sculpture
Oh,
garden.
26.
If I get there before they're dead.
You're not. So the three that can begin fleeing. The one that's under you, roll me athletic check. You still have advantage.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to make an ice sculpture
Oh
garden.
no! Oh no! He does not get free.
No.
20.
Yeah, no, he does not get free. He begins trying to shove you off, but I'm assuming you don't let him.
Low growl, barren deeper, and I say, I will feast on your innards.
It comes out muffled directly into his throat as blood is gushing everywhere. But he gets the idea. And back to you. Are you ripping his throat out?
I am feasting on his innards, or I will. First time ripping out his throat.
Roll me you attack with advantage because he's not in a good point to stop you.
What am I adding to attack? Oh, you said with advantage.
Yeah.
That's a natural 20.
Roll me a d6. And this is your bite.
2 on the d6.
All right. Actually, hold on. You were on his throat.
Yeah.
So it's a called shot. So it's his throat.
Right?
Off with his head.
So what's the max damage you can do with your bite?
4 plus your dex.
Is it?
Bite should be
Yeah, 4 plus your dex.
9.
So 9. All right. And
9.
okay. Pardon me. How would you? What is your intent with this man's throat?
How do you want to do this?
I would like to completely rip his throat out. Beheading him would be excellent.
All right.
But as painfully and slowly as possible, because I want him to suffer.
All right. So you have a really good grip on his jugular, and you realize that won't work. That won't do it all because he'll die too quickly. So you pin down your paws into his shoulders, and you grab the side of his throat where there's nothing but muscle, and you rip it out. And there begins arterial blood begins spouting, and he begins twitching and fighting against you, which has very little avail because you currently have a whole lot more strength than you thought you did. He starts to escape from you. You hop off. And you push the statue of his fallen compatriot on top of him, crushing his legs and pinning him to the ground. Do you want to just watch as he bleeds out, crushed by his stone companion, and dies horribly that way, or would you like to help?
No, I'd like to rip his stomach out if possible.
Okay. You begin doing so.
Okay.
It happens. It's a thing.
I just kind of watch the zombie chase the rest of his compatriots off into the night.
Okay. Just let them run.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are they leaving town or are they going through town? I mean, do we see these things running down the street?
No, they're leaving.
Okay.
They're out.
Because we saw those things, we'd instantly know exactly.
By the time you get there, there's already a pretty big crowd of people. There's a statue and what used to be a living thing.
Is the statue in one piece, or is it broken?
It won't be in a minute. After I've held out concentration for a full minute, so the effect stays until removed, I then just take my staff, cast Shillelagh, and crack the head until the head falls off.
It's headless. Okay. Thalos has just knocked this thing's head off.
I land.
Well, there's a large crowd of people watching, but no one's getting close.
I'm glad to see my warning got to you.
Terrell is still digging into this guy.
I really hope this doesn't turn into the courtroom episode.
No, this is how justice works out here.
It is.
Yeah.
I look at the...
Yeah, you, John, specifically would know that, yeah, this is pretty much how the law works out here.
I look out at the rest of the gathered masses. There's nothing to see here. You can all leave now. Says the man who just...
You two roll me intimidate checks.
I would recommend doing it soon before the feral one gets done.
27?
Natural 20 makes that what?
31.
They're done.
I figured.
They're done. There's nothing to see here. Nothing at all happened.
I'll head over to...
I just kind of put my shoulder on...
you mean your hand on her shoulder?
My hand on her shoulder.
I put my shoulder on her shoulder and push.
I put my hand on her shoulder and just kind of pull back for a second.
Roll me a charisma saving throw.
Oh boy.
Him or me?
You.
Okay.
You have proficiency in that. So plus your charisma. So
17.
Plus, well,
Wait.
14 plus 3, 17 plus your proficiency of 4, so 21.
Okay. You are able to return to your sense. You are not overwhelmed with your desire to fully turn into a feral animal.
She lets out like a little growl, and then she realizes it's you.
One moment. I pull you off the corpse for a second, look down at it. Acid breath.
While they're doing all that, I go over to Gora and Kai and make sure they're okay.
Gora was smart enough to pull Kai behind a building where the two of them couldn't see anything.
I go
because she doesn't want to know.
I go over there. I trust you two are all right.
She knows what happens when someone attacks her, and Faust knows about it.
Yeah. She's.
Unexistence happens.
Do you have any medicine knowledge?
I do.
You have proficiency with medicine?
Nope, no proficiency, but I have +3 to it.
You can roll me base check.
16.
I melt the body down.
She seems to know what she's doing.
with this.
She's got something going on. She can't seem to speak. She can't seem to open her mouth. And there's a lot of swelling on the side of her face. But she's got it wrapped up. And she's checking over Kai and looking confused. Kai seems okay. He's got a bit of a bruise on his cheekbone, but it looks more like he fell on his face than anything else.
I'm just gonna hand her a healing potion. Yeah, drink this. It'll help.
She looks at it. It takes her a minute to get it down because
Jaw's kind of locked right now. Yeah.
Or broken. It's but she's able to get it down and her jaw begins moving again.
Yes.
So
with
Kai is
pain.
a force field
And
wizard.
then I look down at, and it's sort of, is Kai conscious or?
Kai's just sitting there. He seems very confused.
Oh, Kai, how are you doing?
How old is Kai?
He's probably almost 6 at this point, but
I'm okay.
Good to know. Tell me, what happened to you two?
The bad man said that she stole his apple.
Well, I'm confident he was lying.
Yeah, no, Gora had the apple. She bought it from the nice fat man over there.
I look. Is there a nice fat man?
No, there's an empty apple. There's an apple stand with no one there.
Fortunately, they've been dealt with.
Okay. I tried to say that he wasn't being nice. He was a liar. He didn't like that.
Well, liars don't often like when they're called out on it.
I like how they started over an apple. It was like complete massacre, raising the dead.
Done fucked up.
better have been the best at tasting
you
apple.
done fucked up, son.
I look over at Gora. Are you all right now?
She starts to talk and then winces and nods.
Good. It'll heal in time. We'll get you to the paladin.
By this point, have you gone back to...
Yeah, I go back to find them.
You go around the corner and he's checking on them.
I'm sort of
you notice the same thing. The swelling has gone down a lot and there's no more blood, but there is clearly something wrong with the side with her jaw. Kai looks fine.
I just kind of hold her jaw for a second. I'm no healer. I can't fix this permanently, but I pull like a small flask. Drink this for a second. And I basically, if you will allow me to, I'll cast False Life on her instead of myself.
Sure.
So she gets temporary hit points.
It numbs it.
Yeah.
It doesn't fix it.
Yeah, it's temporary hit points.
But it numbs it.
It makes it hurt less for a while.
Yeah.
Right.
tell you what.
Gonna check out Kai and be extremely confused.
What is it with you people
You
and
said
me
he's-
having to cast Lesser Restoration on you? Seriously.
You said he's
What do you mean, you
okay?
people?
He has... So, where the man was hit with a spiked club that could have shattered that stone statue, where the little boy was hit, he has a bruise.
He seems fine.
You feel okay?
Uh-huh. That hurt my face, he says, rubbing his face.
I'll tell you
She
what.
puts her hand on his cheek. Did it hurt when he hit you?
Uh-huh. That wasn't very nice.
Did it hurt a lot?
It hurt like when I fell down that stair.
That's all. It didn't hurt more than that.
No.
Did anything happen when you got hit?
It hurt.
No.
He's 5. Come on.
Yes, I know. I'm working on it.
You're attempting to interrogate a 6-year-old. It's not working.
I will tell you what. As a reward for being so brave, how about your mother and the two of you head back to the inn a little bit more of a fun way? And I spend this 5th level spell slot to cast Fly on on her, Kai, and Gora.
You fly home.
Are you coming?
I have my own fly spell.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
You Peter
Faust.
Pan all up in this joint.
If you would walk with me.
Certainly.
You Peter Pan all up in this joint.
I
and-
tell Gora, find the paladin, have him set your jaw.
Yeah. After a little bit, Gora comes to you and indicates her jaw and tells you that she needs some fixing.
So I'll cast lesser I assume it's a lesser restoration thing and not a healing thing. Or
The hit points are healed. It's just you can actually do this with a medicine check. It just needs to be set, and you can't set your own jaw.
Yeah.
yeah, I'll.
And none of us are good enough to do that for her.
Yeah, it turns out I have a pretty good medicine check. Like a really good and actual
we're-
tools for it. So
As we're either walking or flying back.
yeah,
Whichever.
20 with actual tools for it.
You
Probably
you're
hovering back.
um.
Just like floating.
She's
right off
clearly
the
been
ground at a
magically
walking
numbed,
pace.
so it doesn't hurt. And so you're able to do it a whole lot easier than you would normally. And you
Well, at the
reset
level
it.
you cast it, you can
It
cast
looks
on multiple
like it
people.
Yeah,
was
cast on you
broken,
too.
but it was
Yeah,
healed.
so we'll
It
fly
looks
back.
like she got clocked real hard.
I assume I ask for the story and get what happened.
You get the story.
Gallagher doesn't like Superman fly. He just sort of stands there, hovers up, and goes.
Yeah, like Faust just kind of crosses his arms and tilts forward.
Yeah, it's like, well.
So you
while
have a sky
were-
segue.
Basically,
No, I fly like Mewtwo.
No, it's a sky segue.
it's a sky segue.
Sorry, you have forever been branded as
or
having a
fly
sky
like
segue.
Doctor.
That's all right. You can be a zombie if you like.
Anyways, while you were out investigating, I was following behind, as I know you saw. That was my signal. I noticed a few of the people that you passing by were selling wares that were not their own. Specifically, and I'll list the location, this one in particular was selling dwarven quality enchanted items, but was very clearly not a dwarf himself. I feel that whoever we may be looking for may be working through these fronts, as it were.
Proxy shops, possibility.
Yes, at the very least, it narrows down our search. Perhaps,
So when
perhaps
he
the
draws
others found
that,
more
I suggest
information
that we
was
go
relevant.
find these people and
Yeah, I want to try to
so
group
we
back up with the party to share.
so we
This is
go
what I got.
and get
We eventually
get
all
them and tell them.
get back to the inn.
Yeah, you all eventually get back to the inn. When you walk in, you're informed the baths are ready.
Okay, we'll do that. Do that first.
I believe
Because
it's,
it's just dusk. I mean, it's just after dusk now. Anyway, we found this guy that probably has some kind of involvement here. He only works at night. I figure we go a little later in the evening and
Certainly.
He's-
Do you
he's
have any
out.
further details other than that?
Specifically, it's that he works with slightly. He's a good craftsman that works with slightly less than legal goods, and I would assume he is a gnome, judging by the fact that he said that the way you get in contact with him is at night. There's a specific tree stump. He gave me directions to it, and you have to say something in Gnomish.
Do you know the phrase?
He told me the syllables of it. I could repeat that for you. If you know Gnomish, I'm sure you could translate.
I do not, but
I cast comprehend
I cast
languages.
Ek Leo Garjin.
What does that translate to?
It translates to I need something that's not broken.
Actually, Garjin is not garbage.
Garjin means broken.
No, Garjin specifically means not broken.
Ah,
Jin is broken.
Yes.
well. Does this individual happen to work with another shop as a front of some kind?
Didn't mention anything about having a
Specifically
He doesn't have a
said the
specific-
loud blacksmith that sells.
No, he
said how to find it. That's just how to find
Yeah.
it.
He's
is-
behind that
is
shop.
behind that shop, but it's enough of a distance that they're not related. But
Oh.
we would give you that information,
Okay.
just so you can digest it. But it's
In that case, should certainly at least freshen up a bit, take our baths, eat some food, and then
My
go
ward comes to you
afterwards.
With the draw.
Yes, I managed to set it.
Good. I appreciate that.
Quite the adventures. I see.
I do not tolerate anyone that threatens that which is mine.
I will make a note of that.
In her haste, she did not mention the bit with.
The zombie?
Well,
the
she didn't see
transformation.
that bit. She did not mention the bit where the child got smashed in the face.
But Kai, she did mention that Kai was there.
Yes.
How is Kai?
he just said.
He's fine. Strangely. He has a
Strangely.
bruise on his face. He was hit with a club. In the face. Spike club.
Bruise.
You see his face. Yeah, it looks like he tripped and bumped it.
He told me it felt like when he tripped down a stair once, but I would think it should hurt a lot more than that.
Can I just... The wound just looks totally normal, basically?
Roll me a medicine check.
Tyrell, would you mind if I examine
16?
your son for magical properties that are hitherto unknown?
Roll me.
Yes, as long as you're careful. It won't harm him, right?
And-
Of course not. I don't need to touch him.
Insight check, I guess, would be the best thing to roll here.
Insight?
Yeah.
I just want to cast detect magic and look at Kai.
Okay.
I can actually
I gave
try
him
to
permission.
examine.
That's a 21.
So, this bruise looks... I mean, it's a rough bruise, but it's not the worst thing ever. But you suddenly recall, you've been traveling with them for a while. You've never seen anything leave a mark on this child. This is the first time you've actually seen anything leave so much as a scratch on him.
We haven't seen him get hurt a lot either. But
Yeah, I mean, he's never been...
He
He's
hasn't-
been well taken care of.
Before.
But, like,
But-
you remember, oh yeah, he did fall down the stairs that one time, but he was fine. There was actually, you just assumed he caught himself well, but come to think of it, he's never shown signs. And you've pinned this child down to a bone seat as a fox all night, and you just assumed that when he transformed back, the injuries were gone, but he's never had a mark on him from anything.
so I cast detect magic, and I'm thoroughly examining to see if there's anything magical going on. Obviously, there would.
Yeah. So this kid is reeking with transmutation magic.
Of course.
Can I pinpoint what they are? What it is?
He's a lycanthrope.
Because I'm a transmutation
Yeah.
specialist.
He's,
so.
Oh, it makes sense to you. Oh, he's a lycanthrope. That probably wasn't a silver club.
Right,
exactly.
yes, a lycanthrope. Wait, I look at her.
Did you see me transform?
I did, but is she also like a full lycanthrope, or
She has the magic on her, but it's slightly different. It's
Back
more
in.
under control.
the weapon wasn't silver? Your child has a very powerful, uncontrolled form of lycanthropy. Transmutation is a bit of my specialty. I don't know if I've mentioned that before, but
And of course, you're confused because you would presume, wouldn't you know your kid's a lycanthrope?
yeah.
You might have noted.
Although she is slightly different, so it is.
Yeah.
There's a basically, and nothing short of silver will leave a lasting impression on him. I would have assumed you would know this.
I don't really know that much about lycanthropy.
Ah,
I only recently discovered there was a name for it.
well, I will regurgitate at length everything I know about lycanthropy.
Congratulations, you now know everything that you as a player would know about
Okay.
lycanthropy.
It's not it's a permanent condition, but it's not a serious one, provided it can be brought under control. And quite valuable at that.
what I'm trying
Now,
to figure
you
out.
on the other hand are slightly confused because you've never seen someone who can control their lycanthropy.
Yeah. Normally, when those who are lycanthropic transform, they go wild. You, however, seem to have fair amount of control over yours.
Yes, have I always been able to control it?
Yeah. Well, because you had a curse placed on that transformed you into a fox, and you were able to break the curse, but the magic remained. The ability for you to transform existed. Your child, you're not entirely sure how the magics transfer over. You're not.
Okay.
That's not your specialty.
It's mine.
Yes.
What do I know about that?
Well, she hasn't told you.
Oh, well.
Right. Well, she's gonna explain everything to you then.
Okay.
What he just said, basically.
You've never heard of this happening before. As far as you know, the only way to make someone a lycanthrope is for them to be bitten
Or cursed.
The curse wouldn't be a thing. Like, the curse is transferred through a bite. You've never heard of someone being made into a lycanthrope artificially.
Okay.
But you can. It sounds like while hers wasn't made into a lycanthrope. Well, she wasn't made into a lycanthrope. She was just a shapeshifter. You're guessing that
It passed through her blood.
It passed through oddly, and because of the way the moon phases are, the moon and transmutation magic are, they're like this.
They're like that.
They're good friends. So you're guessing that, same way any tides would go.
Would I assume that training as a druid, not the race but the class, would help him with that? The control over wild shapes being something that he could learn. If he could learn to control a wild shape, he could learn to control his own.
That's been there's been speculation made on that. Unfortunately, it's been discovered that can sometimes make it worse because they still lose their mind at the rising of the moon, at the full moon. Yeah. And so what can happen is their lycanthropic transformation can go awry, and they can transform into a amalgam of weird animals.
Okay.
At least in theory, you've never heard of it. You've never actually seen it.
We've seen it.
They've seen it.
I've never. Well, there are various theories that could help out, but primarily he is a lycanthrope and would have passed down to him through your blood. The curse is typically transferred via bite.
But I mean, you know, a lycanthrope as a kid.
Yeah, but lycanthropes breed true. So, your child is obviously one of them. There's not really much you can do to control it, aside from containing him during full moon, or finding him a place where he can run wild safely. Again, nothing short of silver will bring any permanent harm to him.
Now roll me a...
Well, silver and magic, but...
Roll me just a general intelligence. Roll me a d20 and try to get under your intelligence, which will be real. Don't roll a 20.
My intelligence is 20, so
don't roll a 20.
6.
Curse the fiends, their children too, and their children forever true.
There's a rumor, and only a rumor, that the halflings... There's a halfling hamlet down in the Wood Elven lands that they have an alchemical drink that allows you to maintain control of your mind during the full moon. But there's... The High Elves don't stock any research into it, and it's mostly hearsay. There's no evidence of it being true.
I will tell you what. Once we've finished with this business, I may know of a place where you can find something that might help. It will not be a cure, and I've no evidence that it actually works, but there's a village of halflings to the south that have some form of alchemical brew that allows one to maintain their mental state when transformed. And if I can learn this, I may be able to create a more sophisticated or better version of it for you. Transmutation and alchemy are two of my specialities.
I will try anything. Thank you.
First, let us deal with this business of the Night Elves, and then I will assure you my cooperation and your assistance.
Dark Elves. Night Elves are not
Dark Elves.
evil.
Sorry, wrong. He said Night Elves earlier and it got stuck in my head. With the Dark Elves.
Don't blame me.
I will blame you.
Oh, well.
Of course.
Not much I can do about that.
Yes. In the meantime, let us rest for a moment, take stock of ourselves. I could use a bit longer of a rest than a short one, but if we wish to go tonight, then I will be prepared. Which is my way of saying I've spent 4 spell slots, including my highest level one.
From the guy, midnight's the time to go when the moon is highest in the sky.
Yeah.
So how long do we have before then?
About a couple hours.
3
3
hours.
hours. Yeah.
I only need 4 hours. I only need 4, but I only have 3. Right. Well, let us have food. Let's clean ourselves. Let us prepare.
Does my second
Damn
one
it!
recharge on a short
Long rest.
long rest? That's what I thought.
If I had taken
I'm gonna hang on.
catnap. Oh, no, catnap's for a short rest anyway. Never mind. Actually, also, I don't think Warlock can get a catnap. No, Warlocks can't. Wizards can.
You don't want to do a cat nap near a
What spell is
fox.
it?
Catnap. You take a short rest.
Actually,
in a minute.
cats and foxes get along great.
Yeah.
Well, I might, if I can find it, I might let it.
It's in Xanathars.
On the plus side, you'll
I
get
mean,
to take
in world.
baths
Yeah, I know. But
Yes.
and feel clean.
So take baths, eat food, and then at midnight we go.
Power nap.
Bizarre feeling. I grew up in the mountains.
You have
Keep-
you have a protection spell.
Yeah.
You have a protection spell over the rooms.
Yes, the rooms are
Yes.
private.
All right.
The people can go in, but they cannot scry in, they cannot see in, and they cannot hear you within.
So leaving my child, he would be safe.
He will be safe as long as he locks the door. And in fact, I can make sure the lock doesn't break. I go, once we've locked the door, I use minor alchemy to transmute the lock into adamantine.
It's not going anywhere.
You can temporarily alter the physical properties of one non-magical object, changing it from one substance into another.
You can you walk through the door.
Being an elf, you would change it into quartz.
Okay, I'll change it to quartz.
But it's magical elven quartz that it ain't going anywhere.
Watch this. Ding! No one can break that lock.
It's suddenly much shinier now.
Shiny.
It looks like a diamond.
It shines bright like a diamond. Anyway,
Let us
So
be
let's
off.
go.
Oh, actually. Can I do that? No,
You
I
can if you want to.
can't. Oh, I'm maintaining your transmutation sun as dark vision, so you're good.
That'll be helpful at midnight.
Yep.
yeah. So you go out. The moon is about.
Close.
It is a waxing moon. It's about halfway. So
Alright.
there's a decent amount of light out there. Not a ton, but enough for all of your party to see by.
We all have dark vision, so
It seems like there's still a decent amount of activity here. Just different merchants, different vendors. There's a lot of wood elves out right now. You would know wood elves are almost by nature nocturnal.
yeah.
So it's primarily wood elves out, but there's also a decent number of gnomes, and there's a few dwarves. Most of the humans have gone to bed.
From what they told me of the shop, would I assume it's the same one I noted previously? That the
You
tree
would
is
make
behind?
the assumption. It's the only guy. It's the only person who is claiming to have mastered the dwarven secret of iron, and even most dwarves around here don't know the dwarven secret of iron.
So, yes.
yeah, that's the dwarves of the other continent.
Yes, this is the bracket, I say, indicating the shop.
It's all closed up.
Yeah. And we go
Just
behind.
walk around behind and
Yep. There was a
And
tent
then-
behind it a little ways off, and then there's a stump.
a little
somewhere.
stump somewhere.
So you find the stump. It's
Dumpy?
not outstanding in any way. Someone's cut down a tree, and there's a stump here.
Well, then...
All right. And
Eclio Gajin.
Sit on the stump.
I'll sit on this. I'll
And you
sit
fall.
on the stump. I
Yeah.
blend in perfectly, and
And then you fall in.
I have the stump.
But it would
Leo
be more like
Garjin.
You hear a knocking under your rump.
I will stand up.
move. Yes.
Why, hello there. What brings you here?
I show
What
him
do
my
we
staff.
see?
I show him my staff and say, I would like some work done on this.
Hmm.
Wait, what staff did you show him?
The magic
Just
plus one.
My regular
yeah.
staff, just
I think
because.
that's probably a good plan. See what he can actually
See what
do.
he can do.
Ooh, interesting craftsmanship. Indeed, indeed. Human work.
Actually, what
Or
do we
mostly
see?
human work.
You don't see anything.
See,
There's something coming. There's a voice
He's
coming out
trying,
of the
that's
stump.
Cool.
yeah.
You're guessing there's someone in the stump.
I mean, yeah.
Well, sure.
There's a little. If you look closer, there's a little slit that you can see a pair of eyes through, and the eyes are glowing red.
Ooh, glowing red eyes.
Good.
Always a good sign.
And
Is
what
that
do you
natural for
want
gnomes?
done?
No.
What do you want done
Well,
with
not
this
for anybody.
stick?
Except Dragonborn.
Well,
I am very tempted to just telekinesis rip the stump out of the ground right now.
And Drow, actually, now that I think about
just
Surprise!
it. It's natural for Dragonborn and Drow, now that I think about it.
What is?
Red eyes.
I was just trying to see if I could get some powers built into this to make it a little easier for me to get around. Like through battles.
You have money?
Well, certainly we can get money.
You can get money. You don't have it.
We got money.
We got some.
We have plenty.
Some of
And
us
where
have
did
some,
you
some
get
of us
your
have plenty.
windfall from?
Places you
Gold.
don't want to know.
Why wouldn't I want to know anything?
Does it really matter as long as you get it?
As long as it's gold.
Where it came
fair
from?
enough. Fair enough. So, you want the staff imbued with powers. What sort of powers? You said to get through battles?
Yes, to smite my enemies and bring down.
Do you want it to suck the life out of them before you, strengthening you with every subsequent blow?
While he's
This is the
talking,
guy.
That could work. That
while
would be
he's
very nice.
talking, while he's talking, I just want to sidle around examining the tree stump from a different angle to see if it's actually a tree stump or if it's something else.
Okay.
probably
Roll
hollowed
me investigation.
It's probably hollowed out.
So,
24.
It's a stump.
It's a stump. Wow.
You can notice if you look really closely.
No hinges.
There's no seems to be no sort of like hinge work or anything, but you're guessing that thing pops out.
It's
Does it seem like it's very thoroughly planted into the ground?
Yes.
Okay.
It looks like it was a tree stump that was growing into the ground, and then he's carved it to his purposes.
Okay.
So it's not the entrance. It's not the entrance to the place. It's just a periscope.
So, drain the life out of humanity. Or would you like it to use their life for a different reason? Kill them, bring them back as zombies. Or maybe you'd like the staff to do its work for you. Animate itself.
Oh, that would be helpful.
Fight alongside you.
Yeah, that could be helpful.
Oh, I've been working out an insidious little charm. It only works on things made out of wood. You place it into the person you don't like, and then it plants itself inside of them, growing them, its root structure delving deep into their blood.
I look over the stump at Faust and nod.
Do you really have the power to do this sort of enchantment?
Why would you doubt me? You
Well-
came here and you found me. You know what I can do. If you don't like it, you can leave.
We don't really know what you can
Roll
do.
me
We
an
have,
insight check, by the way.
Yeah. I'll take insight checks.
we have absolutely no proof of what you can do.
23.
24.
This man's not bragging.
23 also.
This man is not lying to you about this.
My insight would be to know whether this is the guy we're supposed to be looking for based on the information I found. He seems deranged.
Yeah, this could be it.
Yeah.
This matches up. This lines up with what you were suspecting.
Okay, what's the biggest weapon we have in the party that can crush this stump in one hit and then charge down whatever tunnel this madman has?
Me.
Okay, makes sense.
Show me the money, and you can come in, and I will.
Ooh, and we can... I will go ahead and produce, because I still have a ton of gold.
Yeah.
I
How
saw a
much
ton
do
of
you
gold.
have?
I have a little under 500 gold, actually.
You pull out your bag.
I'll pull it out, just for now.
Place it on the stamp. I'm not a thief. I can make too much money making an honest living to do that.
I'll place it on the stump. I mean, heck, we're gonna mug this guy because he's a criminal anyway. We'll get the money back.
Wait a second.
Said the paladin, but
This gold.
And a gloved hand reaches out and pulls the bag under.
Just looking at the hand, can I tell, is it short and stubby
It's
like a
gloved.
gnome, or
It's-
is it long and
it's-
slender like an elf?
It's like a gnome.
Is it pale like a gnome that's not quite alive?
It's gloved.
Okay. Fully gloved?
Yes.
Okay.
This.
you know where we got the gold. You know we're powerful people.
I like it. Come! The stump pops open.
I'll go down first.
Okay,
All right, there's a ladder.
I'll go down next.
You crawl down.
And then Doug and
yeah.
The rest of you get up. It's pitch black, and as you get to the bottom,
Dark vision.
there's an odd purplish glow down
I
here.
mean, you can still tell it's pitch black even if you had dark vision.
So
Yes,
there
it's
is
dark vision.
an odd purple bioluminescent glow down here.
I'm
And-
interested in what that is.
It's it's just an ambient magic. It's been enchanted into the walls. It was it's basically an alchemical substance derived from different plants. It's nothing fancy. It's actually pretty common in areas where dwarves or gnomes expect to have guests underground, but they don't want to burn out their eyes.
Yeah.
Along the walls, you see powerful magical artifacts.
No touching. I'm a bit of a collector of sorts. Or rather, do touch. I'd be amused by the result.
Indeed. I can see there's quite a lot of power along these walls.
Can I'm guessing I don't have to really do much investigation to realize what the power source of most of this stuff is.
It's varied. There's everything from artifacts of ancient demons. In fact, there's one that's an amulet that is the eye of what looks to have been a death tyrant.
That creature.
Tell me.
And you right now the figure
Shall
is
be dead
is
somewhere.
has got his back turned to you. He's definitely a gnome. He's short enough, and he's got a black cloak covering all of him from where you're standing.
Tell me. This is all fantastic work. Where do you get your reagents from?
Those artifacts are older than time itself. Collected from places.
Do I spot the staff somewhere on this wall?
No. It looks like this wall is more of a trophy wall.
Is it just kind of a display
Yeah,
case, basically?
yeah.
Do I sense the staff?
I want
considering
all
how
of
powerful it is?
you to roll me wisdom checks. Just roll a d20 and try to get under your wisdom.
I got a
9.
4 with my 12 wisdom.
9 with my 14 wisdom.
7 on a 13.
Oops.
Okay.
I rolled a 20.
Everybody who got under, you have a weird feeling about this. It's not necessarily a bad feeling or a good feeling. It just feels wrong. You, Faust, what'd you roll?
4.
The gem. The one that Elrin gave you? Or, well, that is from Elrin. It was actually given to you by an oddly dressed man with an axe and a shield.
Yeah.
It's oddly cold.
It's
Like it's being specifically shut down in here.
yeah, it's not active here.
I just want
She has
to...
an
But this is the
anti-Elrin
first
feat.
time that something has interacted with that isn't Elrin.
I'm operating on a hunch. I just reach into my cloak and pull out that gem.
What gem?
The one,
Gem?
the divination gem.
The ruby.
I just want to see how it reacts when
Yeah,
it's
this is
exposed to this room.
So you notice that had a bit of a point to it. It immediately twists so the point is pointing towards a very specific cabinet.
I just hold it up so the rest can see,
I look over to
and
stick it
then
back.
Is that why you're here?
why?
I would have figured Elrin would have sent you for that reason.
Actually,
Well then,
you've managed to block his sight.
You see, Elrin's speciality is not being seen, not the other way around.
I want to know how.
The diamonds aren't the only ones who do what he does.
Well,
He doesn't like me, though.
if we can do away with the charade, then perhaps we can come to some sort of agreement.
Indeed, he says, turning around and lowering his cloak. He's got gray, dead-looking skin and bright red eyes.
With my knowledge of the undead, can I identify this creature?
He is not undead.
Oh, really?
With my knowledge of
He's-
arcane stuff, can I identify this creature?
Roll me an arcane check.
I mean, can I do that as well?
I'm guessing knowledge nature has no bearings.
27.
24.
This is
You have... He's emanating magic that shouldn't exist.
Nature? Religion?
Roll me nature.
He's probably not natural, but I'll try 15.
It's super not natural.
So he's an aberration of some kind.
But not. It's weird. He seems to be comprised entirely out of malice and hatred given magical form.
Oh, yeah, it's this guy. That's
Well.
where he went.
Well, this is where he came from.
No, he came from Annabelle.
Oh, yeah, no, that's right. That's right. That's right!
Death
He looks over at you.
from the Anatol campaign.
You're trying to figure out where I'm from. If I told you Unway, it would mean nothing to
See?
you.
That's fair enough.
From another world, I presume.
Just like your friends.
Well,
And that's why you're entirely alright with having this world ended. Makes sense.
Well, it pays a lot of money. And
What use do you have of money? You are clearly very powerful. Surely you should be above such...
He indicates the artifact.
I told you I'm a collector. When I say money, I don't mean something so trite as gold.
I just sort of hold a hand out. Yeah, please. So, what would it take for you to relinquish that particular item?
I mean, Kirk thinks he kills him. He's a planeswalker.
Something that I could add to these walls.
Would Arcana check or Intelligence check to see if there's anything that I know we have that would
No, there's
qualify?
nothing you have that will qualify.
we don't. There's
And is there something in particular you're seeking?
Yes, there is. The dwarves have dug too greedily and too deep, as is their wont. They've discovered something that was best remained hidden, should never have been found. But since it's been found, I may as well own it, yes.
And what would this item be?
You'll know it when you see it. I need you to travel to the southern dwarven lands. I need you to find the caverns, the mines where they extract this new substance they call iron. Go down to the very deepest part. They have thought to create a new alloy, a silvery metal they call mithril, combined with the heavy iron to make a substance beyond the strength of any metal here, even beyond the quartz used by your people. But they found someone got there first. Someone who used to be an elf a long time ago. I don't want him hurt or injured or anything like that. I want his crown.
Well, if we were to embark on this venture for you, we would need certain assurances that the prize we seek will not be gone when we return. Is there some sort of time limit you would impose upon us, or do we have a deal?
The workings of Kretz Mahal are so mundane. I shall give you all the time you need. I'll know if you're not spending it correctly.
Very well. We shall do this task for you, then, in exchange for the staff.
Excellent.
Then, if you would please return my companion his money, we will be off.
He tosses the bag of gold to your feet.
I'll take it.
Far more interesting as an element of what it used to be than it is now.
Yep.
Well,
We do what we can.
What it used to be may have been interesting, but far, far from pleasant.
most things that are interesting are far from pleasant.
Go ahead.
This room seems...
Okay.
It's what
We
makes them
exit
interesting.
stage left.
All right. I don't know if I need to tell you this, but your detect evil, even without you activating, is going haywire.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
one of those
I am
things.
keeping myself between him and the gnome
And
because I don't want this fight to start right now. I
The-
don't have all my spells.
but you also know
I also don't want to start this fight because I fully realize that while evil should be vanquished from the world, I shouldn't throw myself off a cliff to do so.
yes, you know full well that this is not a fight for you.
It's not
This
a
isn't a
fight.
fight.
oh,
No,
It would be
I
Out of-
believe that is called
sewer.
swishing a bug.
out of curiosity, I say back to him, and I pull the gem out again as it rotates. It seems there's more than two parties interested in your item.
Oh, Trohizora. He's so...
Do I recognize the name?
yes, that's the dark elven devil counterpart to Kretz Mahal.
Oh, cool.
How nice.
He thinks he's so clever and subtle, dropping that at your feet to try to lay waste to his brother's claim.
Well,
Yay. Let's
I
go.
would like to see him scry upon it from a different dimension.
You're still here. Why are you still here?
We're going.
I'm mostly waiting for them to
I'm
leave.
all-
I'm a very old man.
As long as he has his gold back, I'm leaving.
All right, you will leave.
I will leave last.
I intend to leave last.
We are
So
going.
Faust and Galadir are sort of standing there waiting
after
for the
you.
other to leave
After you.
first.
No, after you. You first.
Then
no,
I'll
be
pull
my
Faust
guest.
up by the collar if I have to.
I'm not next to the ladder.
No, you,
Tough,
you guys
I'll
go.
pull you to the
You
ladder.
guys go up.
I go up top and I close the stump and
will-
leave him.
They go up, like Tarl's just staring at the two of you, just sighs and walks between the two of you and goes up.
But I would very much like to know how you managed to block the sight of one such as Elrin.
I bet it's magic.
If I told you that lead lining walls block cell signals, that would mean nothing.
No, but I'm familiar with the metal.
Lead.
Good to know, at the very least.
Anything to give Eldrin a tough time.
I appreciate it. Makes a
Don't-
mental note to keep a supply of lead.
Don't ask me to turn your coat into lead. It's quite a long process.
We're going to take a brief, 3-minute break.
All right.
And be right back.
Back in a minute. Hello, and welcome to Final Show.
The moment
But
you went down
typically,
there.
typically one finds lead in quantities in a mine. It's used for inlays and decorative purposes. Typically, it's fairly small.
We still have these horses, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
So we
Yes.
just
Well, let us. I can teleport us further south, and we can.
yeah,
Continue
then
on
ride
from
on from
there.
there.
Yes.
We should
Okay.
probably go back to the inn first.
Well, yes, that was the
Yeah, we do
initial
that.
statement.
We finish it.
We
We have
need
to
to
take
go
a
back
long
to the
rest.
inn. I don't have the magic required currently.
Yeah, we need a long rest.
Yes.
So it'll be about noon or so before we head out.
I mean, it's midnight now.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can head out at first thing in the
Like-
morning.
10 or 11.
Well,
Yeah.
I believe some of us need a long rest.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we can head out first thing in the morning once we've all slept.
All right.
Okay, here we go.
You all get your sleep.
Actually,
Do any of you do anything during the night?
I sleep.
Tarel's gonna go have a conversation with Faust.
Okay.
Yes.
I wanted to know how Gora was.
Did you want to have a conversation with Faust?
yes.
Fine.
Sorry.
I'm the Percy of this game. Everyone wants to talk to me.
He's Mr. Popularity.
I don't.
Yeah, that's because you're the Scanlan of this game.
No,
I'm messing with you.
you're the scandal of this game.
I'm sorry.
She'll be fine. The paladin set her jaw. It will recover in time.
I wanted to thank you. So yeah. I know you were protecting your own, but you protected mine as well.
Yes, well, if I'm going to go, I don't do anything halfway.
Thank you.
Clearly.
If you ever need anything from me, just ask.
I appreciate that, and I will remember.
You just told the lawful evil character you owed him a favor.
I know.
He'll remember.
Yeah.
All right. Well, get your rest.
I don't sleep. You know
Oh.
that.
Well, resting doesn't
I don't sleep either, I
necessarily mean
trance.
sleep.
This is true.
I get into a meditative state.
I'll see you in the morning.
Good. Get your rest.
Thank you.
The door closes and then opens again.
I was originally going to talk to him first thing in the morning, but
There's a line
so-
outside.
There's a queue outside
Next.
the boss fog because it's still the fog is still there even though you're allowed through it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. In the morning, someone else comes to your door.
Yes. Ye.
Morning. Now, it may seem out of the blue, but I was wondering.
Would you go to
When-
the prom with me? Why, ye, I didn't know you cared.
You seem to have had a sudden bout of aneurysm. You're saying?
Sorry, I hear voices in my head.
Believe me, I understand.
That was for me. That one was for me.
How was it exactly that you became acquainted with Grimgar?
With Grimgar, my patron. In the pursuit of knowledge, there are many opportunities that one may receive to delve deeper than is typically considered safe. I have a habit of making plans for when those eventualities occur, and my hunger for knowledge, I won't say it matches his, because he is often listening, and he doesn't like to be challenged.
Voice in the back of your head goes, good.
And I have no intention of challenging him. Our relationship is beneficial to both, and we both seek knowledge and share it, and the secrets of this world become known to us. If you're asking how I initially made contact with him, it was in one of my attempts to glean knowledge from the outer planes. I happened to touch upon one of his sources of knowledge, and inquisitive minds touched, and we made a deal.
I see. It's simply that, how familiar am I exactly with all of Grimgar in total?
So-
like, how widespread is he
Grimgar-
known?
Not.
Grimgar is known among the elite circles. He's not... It's not like most deific beings where it's like this group of people or these people or this race or this town. It's a smattering of people from all over, and it is typically, like he said, people who value knowledge above all else. He's... Unlike many of the people who claim to be gods, he did not deify himself. He simply allowed other people to deify him. He simply exists for the sake of knowledge, and having fanatic, zealous followers suits that cause.
I have a question in that regard. How well is he known among the High Elves?
Very.
Okay. So I would know of him.
You would know of him, and you would know that High Elves specifically avoid him.
Yeah.
He's sort of like a High Elf boogeyman, almost. Like,
Okay.
legends are told of the terrible things that people do after they agree to do things with Grimgar.
Okay.
it's sort of a classic tale of hubris, and he's essentially the Satan of high elves. He's making a deal with the devil, sort of thing.
Hi, my name's Faust.
Yeah.
Faustian bargain. So yeah, I wouldn't high elves wouldn't make deals with him basically.
No. If you did,
even though we are hungry for knowledge.
you're hungry for knowledge, but there's always that sort of.
We also live for thousands of years and want to keep it that way.
Yeah.
I will get knowledge the old-fashioned way.
It takes a special kind of person to make a deal with Grimglaw, and an even more special kind of person to make a long-lasting deal with Grimglaw.
Yeah.
Which is what Faust has done.
Yeah.
The pursuit of knowledge for its own sake.
That is what drives me. Knowledge is power, and power is freedom.
Ever an enigma.
That was actually pretty straightforward. Nothing enigmatic about that.
He just finds it weird that knowledge would just be its own end and not, just using it for its own power, basically.
Yeah.
Ask the high elf.
He finds it strange that someone would use knowledge for itself rather than, I want this knowledge so I can do this goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, we're on the Bronze Age.
Yeah.
Philosophy, not really a big point right now. People are trying to figure out how can we grow enough food so we don't starve to death.
Yeah.
Faust, one of the few philosophers.
I solved that problem by not needing to eat anymore.
Yeah. You said, "Hey, Grimgaw, I'll give you my soul if you free me from the constraints of mortal life."
Yeah.
Brilliant idea.
It has some drawbacks.
Oh well.
Just some.
A few.
I mean, his soul isn't gone yet. He's given other people souls for that stuff.
Except for that one.
Okay.
Except for that one that I really wanted to.
Wait, what?
Still really
Dr. Timmy.
Don't worry about it.
Remember Dr. Timmy got away?
Oh, yeah. Stop reminding me that I have an evil character in my party.
I think it's fantastic.
So,
Yes.
Okay, so are we there yet?
I suppose.
Was that the end of your questions?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm outside drawing a circle in the ground
And then
with my
there's
staff.
another person waiting.
Yeah. Then Duncan wants to talk to me.
no.
Duncan's watching
Duncan
me draw
doesn't
circles
care.
in the ground.
There's a Q&A session in the morning.
If you can't,
with Faust.
Sitting here on a panel with a microphone. And next question.
Excuse me.
if you can't put a spell on my shield or anything, I don't care.
All right. Oh yeah, that morning, a little birdie flies over and lands on your windowsill and knocks with its beak.
Is
Shoot,
it a
breakfast.
bluebird or is it more of a crow?
It's more of a giant falcon carrying a
Why I've
package.
never made
Oh,
this.
cool. I want one of those. A giant eagle. Okay.
Tweet, tweet, tweet.
Yeah,
tweet, tweet, tweet.
I jump out.
You open the window.
Yeah.
Jump out the window?
I'm going to do anything.
It drops a waddle
Yes.
on your windowsill and flies off.
How? Okay,
What?
that's nice.
His
I
sword.
got my sword back.
His sword's been enchanted.
So, okay. So after breakfast, I'm going to go out there and I don't know. Let's see.
Would you like me to inspect that for you?
Oh, that'd be too easy. I'm going to go out and
I will simply
I
stay
gotta
here
go
until
trim
you
some
draw on the
trees,
ground, then.
knock some leaves out of trees and stuff, and see how it feels.
All
Just
right.
kinda-
So you go. You find you
a
find
little sapling or something, and
some
just
tree.
trim
So
the bark off of it or something.
you whack at it, and your first strike causes frost to grow up the side of this thing, and then your
Okay.
backswing causes an explosion of flame.
Yeah.
And as the two meet, the tree cracks in half, and your third blow shatters it into a million pieces.
Cool.
Sweet.
Okay, we'll do that.
I think he wants the mechanical implications of
That's
the
okay.
sword, please.
Well, he'll have to give it to me when I start using
when
it.
you
So
start-
by then
Yeah,
we'll
when,
figure
when
it
you
out.
when you hit a monster, you'll know exactly what it does.
Exactly.
For now, it's got fire and ice going on,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, that's all I care right now.
it looks cool.
Okay.
All right. So you're drawing in the mud.
He's drawing in the mud.
I'm drawing a transportation.
So what do the rest of you guys? What do the rest of you guys do for morning?
It takes me 10 minutes, so.
I'll get up my son. Just gonna go check on Gora, just see how she's doing.
She's probably still in the room with me, so.
Yeah, Gore's fully recovered.
Open
Okay.
the door.
There was magic involved.
Dark Souls fog. Walk through.
Another knock on the door.
Enter.
I just wanted to check on Gora, if you don't mind.
Faust just likes feeling
You're
like a
doing
Dark
well.
Souls boss that you'll keep coming back to.
I am Ornstein.
That would make Gora smile.
No.
So I go watch him drawing a circle, and I walk around
that
following him,
Makes, that
and I
makes Gora
mess up his
Guinevere.
circle by walking on this.
If you mess it up, I have to redraw it, and it takes us that
Kaya's
much
gonna
longer
walk
to
up her
teleport
and give her
away.
an apple.
See how? Oh yeah, did she finish that apple?
Gora is amused, slightly. Kai doesn't quite get it, but
Faust is a little amused as well. He's just like this slight toothy grin.
He wanted to give that to her.
Your child is a good one. Be careful he doesn't.
Okay, here we
Be
go.
careful he doesn't linger too long with people like me.
Well, if we're all prepared, I say to Duncan, who is there with me.
I'm ready.
I think we should find the others.
Okay.
yes, Paladin.
I'm curious. Would knowing about warlocks be knowledge arcana or knowledge religion? Knowledge arcana, I'm guessing.
Religion.
Ooh,
Religion is extraplanar stuff. So
interesting.
Arcana is the connection between.
Okay.
Okay.
He's trying to figure out if he can find out himself or ask me.
Right.
We'll gather everybody up. Well, actually, Duncan, could you please gather everyone? I need to maintain the circle.
Oh, okay.
So Duncan, you go knock on Faust's door.
Sure. I knock on it with my sword.
There's a much louder knock.
I'm quite popular today. Yes, Duncan.
Yes, we're about ready to go.
Are we still in there?
Probably.
Look, I got my toy. I got my toy bag.
Good.
I'm all proud of it.
Good.
You notice that what was obsidian and flint has been replaced by quartz. Some of it is glowing. The one half is glowing blue. The other half is glowing red.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yay.
Faust is voted most popular.
Apparently.
Do good work.
Everybody go to the runes.
Yep. Everybody?
Well,
Find
everyone, please step within the circle. Bring the horses as well.
Alright, bring everything into the circle.
A random merchant comes. Hey, where are you going?
None of your business.
I was,
You asked the antisocial wizard where he was going.
I actually tried to talk to him for a moment there.
Me too.
and he just got
I did too.
I'm not bringing a merchant caravan into my racist tower.
You could have made some money. You could have charged him for the transportation.
This is not World of Warcraft.
I am not a taxi, sir.
I am not a taxi service.
That was brilliant.
poor Paladin.
I just like the idea that, like, he reached out to say something and just, and it was a tower now.
You're surrounded by quartz.
Okay. Well,
Different layout slightly.
Whatever.
I'm surrounded by chaotic alignments.
I'm
Yeah.
lawful.
I'm also lawful.
I'm just lawful neutral.
And I'm lawful evil.
Every flavor of lawful.
We have all three
I'm the only
flavors of
sane
lawful,
one. I'm
yes.
chaotic neutral.
I lead them out of the tower.
Taste the alignment rainbow.
Seriously.
Also, I have a charisma of 8.
I have a charisma of 14 and I like helping people.
I have a charisma of 20. I like using people.
Charisma 8, I don't like people.
All right. As before, this one is a much smaller village outside the tower. It's the far southern end. And
Sorry, I've got the image in my head now. Where are you going? None of your business.
Okay, so
the village out
go
here
there.
is smaller.
You ignored a side quest. That's just not what you do. You take all the side. You see that exclamation point over their head, and you see.
And
free
I
XP.
ignore it.
yes, or money. I mean, come on.
Oh man, that was beautiful. I'm only here for the main quest. Get out of my way.
Don't blame me when you end up underleveled to the final boss.
What happened to that cat?
Yes, exactly.
You don't want to know.
All right, so
Wait, what? Are you talking about eating people's souls again? Again?
Anyways, there's a slightly smaller village.
it's a smaller village. You notice it's a
Cast a
whole
4th level spell.
lot
0 level
warmer
peasant.
down
That
here.
was meant for
Okay.
killing demons.
You're not really as much in the mountains anymore. You're on a very tall hill.
Attention.
You're sort of like on Stone Mountain, as opposed to an
not.
actual mountain range.
Okay, now I'm actually picturing us on Stone Mountain.
Yes,
And,
we're on Stone Mountain.
We have
The tower's kind of pathetic compared to the other ones, and it's a smaller out.
we have a week's journey to the south before we arrive in the nation that we're seeking. The village I spoke to you of is there. Nearby.
The village is
at
about
least.
5 days.
Yeah.
Okay, here we
We'll
go.
likely hit that village before we hit the mines, so we can stop there, Darrell, and investigate their alchemical potions. I'm talking to Holly, but she's not paying attention. I don't think
I'm
she's
sorry,
hearing
what
a
are
word
we
I'm
doing?
saying.
That's okay.
I was.
We're headed south.
I'm sorry. I had an email. I was checking. I apologize. What's happening?
I informed you that the village I told you about will be on the way to the mines, and that we can stop there on the way and investigate the potion I told you about.
All right.
All right.
Here we go.
So you start on your way south.
Yep.
To which she was riveted. Let's go.
Okay. You find you spend pretty much the whole day on paths before you find anything resembling a main road. But you do eventually. And as you do, you...
Random encounter table.
No. You see up ahead of you what looks to be a merchant caravan.
See, he got here before we did.
I don't think it's the same caravan.
If it is, you owe him an apology.
Absolutely not. If it is, he got here on his own.
But yeah, it looks to be a long caravan of about 7 different merchant
He was
wagons.
probably trying to link back up with his caravan, actually, now that I think of it.
Tough shit.
Well,
Is he going-
he's almost a month's journey out, so
Like, he got real fucking lost.
he's more than a little lost if that's the case.
Okay, so what are we seeing right
So
now?
are they going south too?
They're going south.
It's a caravan.
Yeah.
you
Yes.
say? Okay.
I imagine if you're looking to earn some coin, the caravan could always use extra guards.
Yes, we could do that.
Also, I know you dislike people, but they could be faster transport.
or at least somewhat
My
safer.
transportation is as fast as a crow flies, but
You know, caravans aren't going to be faster.
No, they're not going to be
they're in
fast.
fact going to be slower. But they will be safer.
Maybe.
It'll be more subtle.
Yes.
Draw less eyes.
I'm just having flashbacks to a Wednesday night game.
Oh, yeah. That poor
Well
caravan.
done.
Yeah.
2 of the wagons got there.
Shall we?
I don't know if it'll be safer.
Shall we approach and offer our services?
If we wish.
Yeah.
I believe this is a chance for our paladin to do some good in the world. Give
I'm glad you're
yourself,
finally supportive of it.
give yourself a righteous cleanse.
I just kind of walk forward,
Well, right.
Ride.
intentionally making sure I just sort of go in front of your hand so it just slides off my shoulder.
All right. As you approach the caravan, a pair of guards approach. Unlike the sort of armor you're used to seeing people in, they have what appears to be armor made out of slats of wood. They have axes at their sides and wooden shields on their backs, and they're wearing bright blue outfits with just the brightest green pants you've ever seen.
I'm so ready for the paladin to be ready to like offer to help, and this turns into a combat encounter, and we kill them because they don't actually want us to help.
So wait, they were going the same direction as us?
Yeah, they're going south.
Yeah.
The guards are approaching you.
Which town specifically are we going to? The halfling one?
Well, that's on the
Way
way. But we're heading to what's the name of the nation?
The nation is...
We're heading to the dwarven capital.
Yeah.
Well, it's the Dwarven and Wood Elf capital. They share.
The capital of the Dwarven and Wood Elf nation.
Dwarf elf.
It's Shoreham.
We're heading to Shoreham.
Right. The guards approach and begin speaking at you in a language you don't recognize.
Language I don't recognize?
After
Yes.
a moment of you looking confused, sorry.
I lean out from behind him.
You're speaking the Imperial tongue, yes?
Yes, I apologize.
Ah, right. What can we do for you?
I noticed we were going the same...
Is that even your people's language?
I noticed we were... seemed to be heading the same way. Would you happen to be going towards...
Shoreham.
Yes, okay.
You can't read your own handwriting.
Quiet. Would you happen to be going towards Shoreham?
Aye. That would be the destination. What about you, group? You don't look like you're carrying any goods. What are you doing heading on these roads?
We're going there to make a business deal. We won't be carrying goods until we're on our way out.
Carrying goods on what?
I have...
They're small goods.
You have horses, right?
Well, I walk into view as a very obvious high elf mage.
Oh. You're one of those, and he says a word that is not in the common tongue that you recognize as not being a positive way to talk about high elves.
I just lean on my staff. Young man, I would advise you to watch your tongue before I inform your mother that you've been turned into a sheep.
Or a rabbit.
Please.
Yeah, that's in the same language.
Oh, dang it.
I just kind of take my staff and just put it into the...
All we're saying is it is typically better to travel in groups. If...
Roll me a charisma check. D20, try to get under your charisma.
Under my charisma? Ooh, I can do that. I can do that by 1! 13! And I have 14 charisma.
Just barely.
Ooh. Good thing you didn't ask me.
Don't poke your head anywhere it doesn't belong.
Certainly.
Of course, it would be faster if we just went on our own.
Entirely possible.
Yes, but it'd be less safe.
Yeah, so what?
If people know the roads.
Okay,
They
here we go.
know how to travel around these areas.
All right.
Best to stay around people who both know the area and...
You come along
Have a
in
number.
case we get jumped by any of the beasties here. You provide your own food, though.
Yep,
Easily done.
we can do that.
Also, the merchants here don't like you Imperial type. Or you haughty little things that you are.
Am I taller than this guy?
Can we talk?
Oh, almost.
Oh, we're all
definitely.
taller.
You're all taller, except for Terrell.
Little?
I'm neither of those things, so...
I can understand
One of them
Imperials.
begins wandering through and informing people of stuff. The merchants seem unfazed. I will be right back.
So,
Communicate among yourselves.
All right.
Communicate among ourselves.
Well,
Man with the bladder of a child.
man with the bladder of a much older man.
I'm telling you, he's pregnant.
Well,
is he having
as we forward the
cravings?
line, Yeah, that's
You
what.
know him. He always
When I
has
was in
cravings.
the hospital, and he brought the groceries, the nurse thought that I was having some really weird cravings because she saw, I think it was the pickles and the peanut butter
Right. Yeah.
next to each other. She's like, "Did he bring this for you?" I'm like, "No, that's my husband.
Yeah.
He's been pregnant for like the past 18 years."
Well,
Sounds accurate.
that went well. Congratulations.
See? We can hopefully do some good in the world. We'll see. At the very least, make sure that whatever other beasts happen to jump this traveling party hopefully don't have much success of it.
Correct. Well, with your mighty arm here, I'm certain they will be safe. I then turn to Faust.
I would have to agree with you.
And in Draconic, which I'm assuming Faust speaks.
Yes.
And in Draconic, just over to Faust, I believe these merchants are likely carrying something they don't want anybody seeing. Considering the warning, we're probably going to get in trouble.
Draconic. As I said to Tarell, I give it 4 days.
Well, we only have 5 days, so if it's 4 days, at the very least, we'll be near our destination.
Darn you, speaking in Draconic, I can't chime in. Why don't you, have conversations in Giant or Celestial?
Because if we have it in Draconic,
Playing
you
on
can't
your
chime
Disney
in.
playground. Like climbing.
That's how we have secret conversations at the table.
So do you keep
Okay.
a distance from the caravan, or do you actually go among them?
I keep a distance.
I want to go among them, and I want to just chit chat with them and see where they're going and where they've been and all that stuff, and just kind of get a general feel for
And she's a half orc, so
how much
bigger than a regular.
what they're used to on these trips and all that stuff.
All right,
What kind
well,
of critters?
there's 7 wagons, and from what you can gather, they're all from different parts. There's 3 of them are dwarves native to Shoreham, and 2 of them are wood elves, and then 2 of them are humans who are traveling south to trade with the dwarves and wood elves. They have pretty basic merchant backstories, goods. There is one of the dwarves is deals in ores and metals from the mine. 2 of them deal with a variety of small crafted items, jewelry, the like. One of the wood elves has pelts. Apparently, he's going south to refill. They have a lot of animals in the south, but they have pelts, and northern climates are colder than down there, so they sell them that way.
While we're traveling, I asked one of the dwarves who deals in ore, you wouldn't happen to have a supply of lead for sale, would you?
I suppose I do. How much lead you need?
Let's see.
You do realize it's ore. It's not purified. You have to melt it and smelt it yourself.
That's doable. If I can't do it myself, I can find a forge. But I
Or a
need
transmuter.
enough to line small chest and a few articles of clothing.
That's a very specific request for
Articles of clothing.
Wouldn't that cut off your power if you wore it?
No.
No.
Lead doesn't
Because it's
affect magic like that.
No, I thought it was what cut off Grimgaw.
No.
Oh,
Grimgar doesn't care about lead.
Yeah, Grimgod doesn't care about lead.
all right, never mind then. It was just
No, something else to cut off. Grimgar.
something else. Got it.
Yes. I have a few. Well, my kind are broadly built, and some people like to make very loud statements.
With lead.
Yes, they like to make a show of it.
Look, you got a lot of money, I don't care. It's fine. Back on the cart. The cart's driving. The animals basically know where to go. So
Yeah, they
he
follow the lead.
goes to the back, opens it up, and he has a whole bunch of rocks with metal in it. With metal in them.
How much would you charge for it?
Depends on what you're trying to line.
Probably 3 robes and a chest.
Robes to fit you.
Someone roughly my size, yes.
I'm not sure how you line a robe with metal.
very careful and very aggravating.
All right.
Like a bulletproof vest.
Lead's real heavy, so probably somewhere around 50 stones. It's a lot of lead, but it's hard to get rid of. 5 gold.
Done. I give him 5 gold.
And now good luck carrying it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said
Oh wait, that's right. You have the.
he sets
How's
the
your
he sets
pole
the 50
That's
stone of
right.
lead on the ground, and I just
That's right. I forgot about that. I thought only he had that.
Sweeps it.
Both of us did.
The dwarf looks at you, raises his eyebrow. I'll have to get me one of those.
oh, it's quite handy.
How much did that thing run you?
How much was it exactly? It was
Yours was like 600 gold.
Yeah, it was 600. What was the just the
Just the pockets, I think, was
500.
200.
Or
You oh no, 300. You got the fancy pockets for 500.
that's right. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, 300.
300 gold pieces was enough for an enchantment to carry up to 1,000 pounds.
It's a big investment, but so are the horses.
500
know.
was like was a full
Yes,
ton.
500 gold pieces was enough for a full 2,000. But I didn't need to carry quite that much.
I'll have to keep my eyes out for that.
He goes, "Where'd you get it?" And you just point at the high elf off in the distance.
All right, fair enough.
I'm fairly certain some elvish enchanters can probably do the work for you.
I'm guessing you mean the blasted pale elves, don't you?
Yep.
Probably,
Damn.
although I suspect a enchanter of sufficient skill could likely get the work done, but the high elves were the ones that I got the work done initially by.
All right, well,
If you find the rightly eccentric ones, it's not enough conversation to become unpleasant.
any conversation with him's unpleasant, but we'll take what we can get. Pleasure doing business with you.
You as well.
He returns to the front of his cart.
And I was probably carrying that entire conversation on in Dwarvish because I speak it.
Yeah, you do speak Dwarvish. His dialect is a little odd for you, but
Yeah.
right. Anything the rest of you are doing?
I'm staying apart from the caravan because they don't want me there,
Other than apparently,
and I don't want to be
Stone
over
is
there.
what? 13 pounds?
Hmm?
Like one stone is like 13 pounds? Or is it 7 pounds?
I don't remember exactly. Let me look it up. I thought it was somewhere around. I thought it was closer to the 7 pounds.
1 stone equals LB.
Oh, it's 14 pounds.
14
so it's
pounds.
25 stones that you have, not 50.
25 stone. Yeah, so 25 stone would be 25 times 14.
It's like
70.
350 to 400 pounds of.
Yeah, okay.
So half your weight.
It'll weigh a lot less once you get the rock out of it.
Yeah, once I get the stone out of it and just got the lead.
Would I know how to separate?
Yeah. You
It's just
could
mainly
use some magic
you
to
could
do that.
use-
It would just be time consuming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
400 pounds of lead ore. And while we're on the road, I will also talk to Galadir. So now I have a supply of lead, but it's all raw ore. I need to separate the stone from the metal.
That's easily enough done. Just requires time.
Would you willing to assist?
Depends.
And what would you ask in return?
Knowledge.
I have plenty of that to give.
Then we have ourselves a bargain.
why
I want
are
all
people
your-
bargaining with Faust. I don't like this.
I want all your ritual spells.
I only have 2.
I don't care. Actually, I might already have them. What are they?
Detect magic and identify. You
Damn it, I already have them.
Too many people are indebted to Faust, and this is not a good thing.
I'm not indebted. We're trading.
Close enough. You're making
if
him
I
Elrond-proof.
if I could get more ritual spells, you would have them.
I know.
I haven't run across any of them.
Elrond's like one of my favorite people now.
We'll simply share.
You're
By
like
virtue
trying
of
to-
not being like actively horrible
Basically,
human being.
I will basically probe you for information of the previous everything of the campaign
Yeah.
while I turn your lead into lead.
I will fill you in on what happened before you showed up.
Really, Tarask. Fascinating. What did it look like?
Massive and angry.
It ends up being about a third the weight when you're done refining it.
Okay, so it'll be like 120
Yeah.
pounds of lead.
So you're gonna leave a trail of ore or
A trail of rocks.
rocks.
It's like hold. Shunk,
So that will take you the whole day.
shunk.
And what are the rest of you doing?
He's talking to me.
What all kinds of caravans are there other than apparently a lot of rocks?
So there's the ore one. There is a caravan of one of the dwarves has
It's a
jewelry.
dwarf looking over and watching.
One of the caravans is small crafted trinkets. You know how there was the gnomish trinketeer? Mm-hmm. It's like that, but practical.
I charged him.
Oh, okay.
There's an elven fur trader. There's an elven bowyer Fletcher. And then
Wood elves?
Wood elves. Yeah, no, not your kind of elf.
They don't like me.
No. There's a human who's got a bunch of bolts of fabric in very garish, bright colors. And then there is a human who has got a very unique breed of tree. He's got different, a lot of planks of the wood. It's jet black.
Mahogany.
And the knowledge nature isn't going to really help me on that because I'm from another continent.
Yeah. It's natural. It's a beautiful wood.
I'm suddenly curious.
No, it's
about
actually ebony.
Ebony and ivory. I
It's
turned the
ivory.
ebony into ivory.
Turn the ivory into ebony.
Tarl's gonna go check out the jeweler.
It only lasts for like a minute or until I lose concentration. So I really want to
Hello
like,
there,
go to a soldier and
lass.
say,
What can I do
"Alright,
for
so
you?"
tell me to die."
It's a...
And then walk away and
It
he
is
swings it.
at a
Let it
distance.
go.
You couldn't tell the difference, but once you get closer, oh, it is a woman. She just
died.
her
now
beard
it's
is very
back.
fine and well kept.
Okay. I was just wondering if I could look at some of your wares, please.
Of course. We don't normally do trading around here, but well, won't ever say no to a little bit of money.
She pulls you into the back of the cart. There's a lot of stuff here. Everything from little trinkets to she's got one particular item that is a sapphire set into diamond backing on gold.
Of course, you've got all the reds, the whites.
Steel wind strike.
I think diamond would set well with you.
And how much would this be?
This one, the sapphire one.
Yes.
This is the largest sapphire I've seen in a long time, and gold. This is almost probably 150 gold worth.
Broke right now.
Yeah. I'll take it that that's a bit out of your range.
Just a little.
Well, if you like the sapphire, here for 10 gold.
She pulls up a different necklace. It's much simpler. It's a basic sapphire. It's a teardrop shaped sapphire. You can tell looking at it, it has some inclusions, but it reflects the light really nicely. It's the gemstone's not the highest quality, but it's been cut really well to accommodate, and it's set into silver backing. It's very simple but elegant.
I'll take that one.
She smiles and holds out her hand. 10 gold.
Alright, give her 10 gold.
There you go.
Thank
She hands
you.
it to you. There you go. Now you look even prettier. Anything else anyone wants to do?
I'm sure we could have a massive conversation about mahogany here, but
So basically what you're saying is you begin talking to this guy about all the exotic woods of this land.
yeah, I'm curious.
Okay.
Where he
You
sources
have that
things from.
conversation.
You learn a lot about the different woods and
I don't know enough about forestry to actually hold this conversation in character, so
Yeah. But
You have trees on your armor. You can have the conversation.
Yes. Well, he in turn is
My
fascinated.
armor, I don't have trees on my armor. Trees are my armor.
He's fascinated by the armor you're wearing because, of course, he's heard of it, but he's never seen a druid. At least in that sense, he's seen class druids, but
Class, not race.
he
Come up with a different race name.
well, it's fine. So he begins. He looks at it and just he's very respectful of it. He's not like trying to take cuttings or anything off of it, but
Yeah.
But there's a lot of investigation. He's looking at the type because it defies identification what plant it is. It's not a plant that he's ever seen before.
Nor a
this
plant
land.
I've ever seen before.
Yeah.
either,
So you spend a while talking plants.
Well, it seems our companions have ingratiated themselves with the locals.
And here we are.
And Duncan, what are you doing?
I guess I'll carry on a little conversation with the fur guy for a little while, and then I'm trying to talk to everybody just a little bit and trying to figure out what kind of creatures, what kind of problems they usually have along the road, like what kind of defensive mechanisms they usually employ to keep themselves safe on the trip.
For the most part, they just have guards.
Okay. So it's just a matter of whacking
There's
things
about
as
half a dozen
animals.
guards here. It's not the most dangerous place, but as long as you're always aware, wild animal attacks are pretty easily fended off as long as you're not taken by surprise.
Right.
There are a few beasts, but nothing that would be a challenge to you at all.
And since you're going in a big group,
Yeah,
most wild animals will keep
away.
Yeah.
Bandits know better than to attack a caravan like this.
Yeah.
Unless there's there aren't really any bandits groups large enough to attack a caravan of this size. A lot of it's show.
Yeah, right.
If you make a right show, then you're pretty safe.
She doesn't get
Yeah.
inspiration.
And I can't be surprised anyway, so.
Okay.
Okay,
You have the ability.
so we get there.
So you travel the rest of the day, camp for the night.
Yep. Tiny hut. Pirate sanctum.
All right. So you have your do you all go in your little tiny hut separate from the caravan?
Probably, yeah.
It's the cool kid area.
Tiny hut. Private sanctum.
I mean, at least
I want to stay outside with the locals and see what the animals do
I
and
keep
stuff.
I keep the private sanctum to just the inside of the hut, so that if you step outside, you can still hear what's going on. So.
I'll see how they set up everything.
They
for the night.
they pull them aside and they make a ring to have a natural barrier that pens in the animals, and
Right.
for the most part, all the cabins, most of the merchants stay in their wagons. They have the compartment, and the guards set up a tent in the middle. There's a big fire in the center. They all share food and stuff. It's pretty, they're social. It looks like the jeweler has a very elaborate flute that she plays, and she plays some music. And one of the wood elves is a very adept dancer, and there's dancing and merrymaking and all that sort of stuff.
This is when they get attacked, and we save them all from danger, and they realize that they may have misjudged us the whole time and welcome us into their fold in a heartwarming family reunion.
And then
as soon as they welcome us in, Faust tries to start manipulating them and bargaining for souls.
Tries to. He's already succeeded at least once.
and then they go to bed.
Then land.
Okay.
I was
What you
what's
Thin
the
land
structure of
shark
the
attacks.
walks of
I've been
the
in Normandy
what's the
and I
structure of
can't
the
win with the
watch
caravan.
that they have?
It looks like there's 2 guards on watch at all times.
So they just rotate 2 at a time.
They rotate 2 at a time.
Then the goblins attacked.
And they've got they set up little perimeters so that one of the guards. The tent has a thing in the center, kind of like a crow's nest on a ship, that he can look out from, and the other one walks around it physically.
I'll stay back in the hut, I guess.
Stay in the hut. What about you, Duncan?
I'm gonna stay out. I'm gonna stay outside, and just sleep out in the grass, and like
You gonna
inside
sleep
the circle.
over with the animals?
Yeah, pretty much
in the
near
ring,
the
or are
animals.
you gonna be outside?
Yeah,
the ring?
near the animals inside the ring.
After I get done with my 4-hour trance, I'm just gonna stay outside the hut, keeping an eye out.
All right, Duncan, roll me
Fine.
perception.
Are you in the hut?
Okay,
Generally,
let's see.
Just because we can't hear anything. From
23.
Besides, he has all the perception in the party. So
Exactly.
Oh, that's right. You have all
I
that.
have
ridiculous-
perception.
I have really good perception.
he can never be surprised he has 5 million initiative.
All right. So let me roll against you.
Good luck.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Okay.
So you are among the animals, and you hear. No, they're not. There are no sheep. So that actually would
no
be
machine
under the
guns.
You hear a low hum.
Okay.
Sounds a lot like William.
It's
You look over and you see a
From
man
direction.
wearing leather, sitting back and humming.
it's hard
Leaning
to
in a chair
tell.
with
It's
his-
almost a hum you feel in the ground itself, but you suspect it is coming from the merchant who's got all the hides.
Oh. Okay.
That wagon.
I'm just gonna walk nearby and try to pinpoint a little better.
Dwarf snoring.
Dwarf snoring. I'm just gonna kind of walk by there just to make sure I kind of pinpoint where that's coming from, and then I'm gonna go over and talk to one of the guards that's awake, that's walking around the perimeter, to see if he knows, if he's heard that before.
So would you go approach the guard? What do you say?
Yeah. Go. Hey, I'm hearing a little humming noise over here. Do you? Is this something normal in this area? Is there something like underground that resides here that might be making a humming noise?
There's a lot of creatures that live underground. At worst, it's an ankeg, but they don't particularly like to come up above when there's this many people.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna go back over
It's
that
nothing
direction.
to worry about.
That means it is something to worry about.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna go back, see if I can pinpoint it again, just to.
All right. Are you being subtle about it, or are you just doing
Yeah,
it?
just kind of walking. Yeah, kind of being subtle about it.
Okay.
Except that.
You walk back over to the. It's definitely coming from the wagon.
Oh, from okay, so it's coming from the wagon, not from underground or anything.
Yeah.
I think. Okay.
And when I came
So-
to Texas, there was a young half-orc girl tending my wounds.
So if I walk around the wagon on the outside of the perimeter, I still hear it from.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Fascinating. You hear.
It's pretty
trancing
soft,
off
though.
the corner.
She just started following you?
After a couple minutes, it stops.
Could-
Yes, well,
Okay.
at first she was useful to have around.
I could assume it was just like a
Stealing medicine.
hairdryer or something.
One such as myself is not exactly welcome in environments.
I understand.
Roll me
Nothing-
another perception check.
For a certain amount of time,
Nothing's-
it became apparent that the two of us were
22.
useful to each other. And
Okay. The
our
guards
mutual travel
are
was
watching you now.
Worthwhile.
Okay.
They're trying to be subtle about it, but
Yeah.
they're not good at it.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna
What happened
head back to where I was sleeping and just kind of lie down
No,
and
I have no idea.
try to keep-
Neither does she.
try to stay awake a little longer to listen for it again. But
How long have you
All right.
been
You don't hear it again during the night.
Must have been 6 years now.
okay.
She
So,
was very young.
The rest of you sleep.
After, like I said, after my 4-hour trance, I'll step outside and just sort of keep an ear out in case something comes barreling this way that we can't hear inside the hut.
Alright.
My designated goal is to pursue
The rest of the night passes uneventfully, and you all wake up in the morning. Very early, the caravan master wakes you all up and
Right.
informs you that they're heading out.
Just like waves at me, and I go in and go ting 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 ting.
Yeah. And you reassemble and move on. And that is where we will come back to next time.
All right. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Buddy.